Greetings, pro wrestling fans, and thank you for joining us at the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting here with
Donovan, and it's Donovan.
Yes. He spelt it out. I've missed that. And I can't remember the last time we did a two-man show. It's probably more recent than I realized, but...
Feels like a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's my favorite is the OGs right here. This is the OG PWLB. So thank you for joining us at the round table. This is episode 62. And we appreciate you for downloading the show. If you don't already, go check us out on Instagram and Twitter at PW LookBack on both of those. Give us a follow, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to send us a personal message or a direct message on there, get in contact with us. Probably the best way for topics for roundtable lookbacks, championship lookback, anything like that. If you want to get in contact with us, that's the way. Or send us an email, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com is where you can do that. And if you don't already, hit up iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube, and Google Play.
There you go.
Subscribe on there, hit the 5 stars, leave a comment, make it a good one, preferably. That would be good, but if not, tell us what you think of the show. If you want, follow me on Twitter at Salsa, SCELSA, same on Instagram.
And my Twitter is at JustDon44. Shout out to the new followers, because I've seen some wrestling people up in there, so I followed them back.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
This is turning a new leaf for Don. I like to see that. But don't forget to follow at PW LookBack. That's the main one. And if you guys don't already, like I always say, check out our sponsors at Pure Oxide Premium CBD Oils. It's at Pure Oxide CBD on Instagram. There's affiliate accounts for different locations, different regions, kind of in our Ontario, Toronto type area. But the main one is there, Pure Oxide at Pure Oxide CBD. Geez, they sell a 2,500 milligram bottle, 5,000 milligram bottle, and a 3,000 milligram cream that is all CBD infused. It's amazing stuff. Like I said, I've been using it for probably 3 months now, and it works really well. No GMOs, no THC, lab tested. Contests regularly on both of the channels and websites that they've got going on there. It's good with joint pain, anxiety, overall well-being. Like I said, hundreds of positive reviews. Check out at Justin.Brothers, the owner, on Instagram if you want to get in contact, at Pure Oxide CBD and pureoxide.com. They ship worldwide. That was a long one, but how you doing there, Don?
I'm doing well, man. How about you?
I'm great, buddy. It's a new week, a new show, episode 62. We got a new Star Wars show. We had some good wrestling.
Yeah, we both got mustaches.
We do. I got a nice. I hope you guys enjoyed in the picture here. I'm rocking the nice mustache. Actually, this is random, but I've had like 3 people, and I don't watch this show. But have you ever seen the show This Is Us?
No, but I've heard of it.
Okay, so there's a main character guy, I guess the father on the show. He has a mustache. I've had like 3 people come up to me and tell me, "You look like the guy from This Is Us. You look like the guy from This Is Us." Which, hey, I mean, people keep telling me I look like a good-looking Hollywood actor. No complaints over here. One guy told me I look like Hitler, so I don't know if that was him just being funny or if I need to maybe grow out a little bit more of the mustache. But either way, it's been an exciting week, and like I said, it's been a while since the two of us were in the studio shed here, so I don't know what you want to start with, but I watched the first episode of that Mandalore TV show. I told you that Disney Plus was...
Yeah, you got it.
I had to. I'm that big of a Star Wars fan. I mean, enough that I talk about it on our pro wrestling show that has F1 in it sometimes, and we'll get to that later in the show. We're going to talk about kind of everything tonight between, the Disney Plus and me watching some old wrestling pay-per-views. I want to talk to you a little bit about that.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
Some of the best stuff, I guess, that happened this week on Raw. Maybe some of the major moments from the Full Gear pay-per-view, as well as maybe some thoughts on the Stone Cold and CM Punk stuff that happened this week too. Not related, but separate. I wish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get into, obviously, spoilers or even really talk about it that long on here, but I just wanted to say, hey, good job on you there, Disney, because I think they announced that they had, 10 million subscribers in one day. So I'm definitely one of those 10 million. I don't know how many of those 10 million were Star Wars fans trying to go watch The Mandalore, but that was me, and I don't know. I think they did a really good job so far. So good. And I don't know, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau is just, I don't want to get too deep into the weeds of this stuff, but just Dave Filoni is a guy who's been involved with Star Wars for years and years, going back to working with George Lucas on the original Clone Wars, coming up with Star Wars Rebels. So to see him actually get a live-action television show, the first live-action Star Wars television show, it's a big deal, and it's awesome. So good on you for that. And then guys like Jon Favreau, I mean,
Yeah.
Original director of the original Iron Man movie. Awesome to see him getting a TV show, like I said, first Star Wars television show. So it's pretty awesome. I enjoyed it, and the first episode was really good. If anybody is a Star Wars fan and they haven't checked it out, definitely go check it out.
Yeah, I'll be checking it out.
Yeah, well, I left the offer on the table. We could watch it post-show tonight, but I know you got a bit of a drive, so we'll check back in 2 weeks, maybe, and we'll see. I'm sure you will have watched the first 2 or 3 episodes, because I know you won't be here next week, but then the following week we'll talk more about that. But yeah, sorry.
Is there the other shows announced already? Like, do we know the other Star Wars related?
I was just gonna say, do you mean Star Wars related, or are we referring to High School the musical, the musical, the show?
More Star Wars related. I know like most of the Marvel ones, but
yeah, I don't. The only one that's I think confirmed announced is the Kenobi show.
That is going down. Right?
That's going down for sure, because Ewan McGregor's been talking about it on different talk shows and this and that. So that's going to be amazing, because not only Ewan McGregor has aged perfectly to play that character. I mean, they might have to add a little gray here and there, but he's going to do a good job with that. Everybody misses Obi-Wan, and the portrayal of Obi-Wan in a media that isn't animation. You know what I mean? Because we've only seen Star Wars and Clone Wars, or Rebels and Clone Wars versions of Obi-Wan in the last 20 years. So, well, close to it, 2005, I guess. But yeah, so that's the only one that I know of that's announced. There may be a Boba Fett show, but at this point, like, depending on how good this show turns out to be, you don't really need to make a show about Boba Fett if you've got a show called The Mandalorian. Or The Mandalorian, sorry. But yeah, great show. Go check it out. If anybody is a Star Wars fan, definitely worth watching. That was kind of, I don't know, between that and me watching old episodes of Miami Vice, that's kind of been...
That's your new thing.
That's my new thing. And I don't know, man, I had that DVD set. I told you, I have had it for like 3 years, I feel like, since both of us worked at HMV.
Okay, yeah.
And I'd never watched it, but I was like randomly bored one night. I'm like, I could watch a pay-per-view, or I could maybe watch this. I don't know. Throw it on. Really good. If anybody likes that kind of shit, old school 80s TV shows, even if you just want to watch one episode and then you'll probably be good with it, watch the first episode. It's like an hour and a half, and then you're done. That's it.
Is that how long they are? An hour and a half?
No, but the first one was, and I was watching. I'm like, this is long, but this is really good storytelling and writing. So, I mean, they're getting not so good as I make my way through them. There's good ones and there's bad ones, but
you just have the first? Is that the first season?
Yeah, I think there was only 5 seasons. I have the first season. Random topic. I can't believe we're bringing this up here, but dude, I watched one last night and Bruce Willis was in it. It was crazy.
Oh, nice.
And I looked it up, and it was like the 3rd or 4th thing that Bruce Willis ever did in his acting career. So this was like prior to any fame. When that aired on TV, he was just Joe Schmo actor playing the bad guy drug dealer who beats his girlfriend in the episode. His name was Tony Amano. So, but yeah, maybe we should get back to the wrestling stuff, unless there's some more Disney Plus. Honestly, if you're not just a Star Wars fan and you like Disney, go check out at least the lineup that's on there, because once I finished watching Mandalore, I think I spent half an hour, 40 minutes just watching shorts, like Toy Story 3-minute, 4-minute videos that are like little mini Toy Story movies. Oh man, there was one where they went to this like McDonald's in Toy Story, I guess, like the version of McDonald's, and it was like the little McDonald's toys as like toys, but like talking and shit, and it was just, I don't know. Go watch it if you haven't seen it, because it was like mini Buzz, like Happy Meal version of Buzz makes his way back to, like, it was awesome. So go check it out. Anyway, I feel like I need to bring it back full circle here, and let's
hit him with a bell.
Hit him with a bell. We gotta keep it, And just because it's me and Don,
that's my album. It's by myself, solo.
If you're a frequent listener of the Roundtable, then I'm sure you're laughing right now. But if not, hey, we all love Eazy-E, so
exactly.
Full Gear.
Yeah, man.
I feel like we should start there. It's kind of the oldest of the news, I guess, in the wrestling world. I don't know if you want to.
I guess we can start right at the beginning, because of the main part of the show, because I feel you watched.
I watched most of it.
90% of it, probably, right?
Ooh, I don't know about 90% and how much I was actually watching the show. I had it up on my phone the entire night. I was playing MLB as per usual. But yeah, no, I enjoyed the show as a whole. We'll get into it, obviously. The main event for me, when I found out how long it actually was, I wasn't a big fan of the time that they spent in that main event. But
which
the
last
Jericho
match.
or the Kenny and I almost called him Ambrose, John Moxley stuff. But I don't know where you kind of steer this, because I have a lot to say, but also not that much to say either, if that makes any sense.
I guess we can start with that Young Bucks LAX.
Well, see, that's
match.
I honestly, man, like you just give your thoughts, because I don't have much to say other than the main two. Like aside from Jesus Murphy, Cody and Jericho, and John Moxley and Kenny Omega, and maybe a little bit of the Pac and Hangman stuff, I don't recall much.
Yeah, so
maybe
match,
just pick out your favorite stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I can't say that this was one of my favorites on the show, but I think it was definitely a smart choice to start off the show with,
I liked it because they talked about the Bucks. Like, I don't know who it was, if it was JR or who else was on commentary that night. I think it was just him and Excalibur.
Yes, it was.
Tony Schiavone was there. What was it? Where were we? Geez.
They talked a bit about...
I don't know what it was. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I don't know. The match... I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm the biggest Young Bucks fan. Even though last year now, I did... Like, my match of the year involved them.
It was the Young Bucks,
I'd like to go back and watch it, too, and... Like, I think I know what I liked about that match, but I don't know. I've come to realize now I'm just not really like a huge fan of their particular style of wrestling, I think,
Yeah, I just remembered what I was going to say too. I like the fact that JR brought up the fact that they were the number 1 seed in the tag team tournament.
Yeah.
And then when LAX was coming out, they kind of implied like, well, if these guys were number 1, then these guys here, LAX, are definitely number 2. And they just kind of really showed, how much
the ranking
the ranking stand, and maybe that they both didn't have the best tournament. You know what I mean? And that's why they're not in the finals of the tournament.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, continue. I just wanted to get that out because that's what I was thinking of.
It was a nice, it was a decent match. I think it went pretty long as well. But I enjoyed it, I guess, for what it was. But definitely my biggest takeaway from this, and even like most recently, I'm not a huge Young Bucks fan,
Yeah,
but I've always kind of known that, I guess.
Well, I mean, your match of the year last year, because it was Kenny and Ibushi versus the Young Bucks.
Yeah, I don't know.
That might have been more to do with Kenny and Ibushi,
and the story of the match too. Like, and I don't know, the match. I thought, not to go back so much to that, it was done really, really well. I feel like it wasn't so much in the typical box of what a Young Bucks match is, which is a lot of just. Let me show you what I can do.
Like one-upping each other and too many setting up for spots.
It's
I
just
don't want to use spots because that's such an overused word.
But that's kind of just what it is. It just I don't know. It's just move. Like, I don't really...
It doesn't look like a fight.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing, man, because at the end of the day, this stuff is supposed to look like a simulated fight. So, I mean, we can talk about it in the main event, but when you have too many things that look pre-planned, it pulls you out of the moment. So maybe that's what it was. You just kept getting pulled out of the moment in this traditional wrestling match.
Yeah.
For what it was, I guess. I don't know. The Bucks are they're one of my favorite tag teams, but I think it's to do with their characters and the versatility of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. I find that they could have I don't think that they need that. I think they do that because they know that that's what they're good at, and that's what their fan base enjoys.
Yeah.
I think if they had to do a match, I'd love to see them in Revival, and they would still pull out the flippy stuff with the Revival. But I mean, if they had to have more of a traditional tag team wrestling match, I think they could do it. I don't think that they're incapable.
And again, I don't think so either. I think that's probably what I liked more about the match between Kenny, Ibushi, and the Bucks. Was that they kind of brought out a side of them that you don't typically see.
Whereas this was... LAX is pretty spotty too, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This was like a very Young Bucks style matchup, which isn't my personal favorite type of matchup.
But yeah, overall pretty good.
Yeah, I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Only the long-time listeners will pick up on that one.
And after that, I guess we brought it. I think Pac and Hangman was next.
I think that was next.
I do want to talk about that a little bit.
Go into that. Because again, aside from just some thoughts on the final two matches and how the night closed out, because that's the stuff that I was really excited for. Like I had said to Will last week when we did the show, I'm like, man, I wasn't that excited for this show, but having Will kind of lay it all out for me, the top 3 singles matches, and I'm such a singles match guy.
Yeah.
that I became excited, and I was like, I have to watch this, and I went out of my way to watch it. But I got to be honest, I think I turned it on at like 8:30, 8:40 that night because I totally had just missed, because it's Saturday. I'm still not used to this pay-per-view on Saturdays thing.
Yeah.
So it's getting used to that made me real, oh shit, yeah, this show did start. So then I pulled it up on my phone. I think there was people over here too.
You know what's crazy, actually? Well, I think I probably told you this later on that day, but I didn't actually watch it live. And I avoided I wasn't even online.
You're pretty good for that, though.
Yeah.
Being able to stay off if need be.
Yeah, so I caught it on Sunday morning.
That'll be me this weekend, buddy. We'll get to it later in the F1 update, but that'll be me. I'm a little busy for the race this weekend, so I'm going to be trying to do the same. I'm not as good as you at staying off of the old Instagram, though. But yeah, Pac.
Well, hey, question for you.
And Hangman.
Is it just me? Well, did you see this match?
I did. Parts.
Did you like it?
I thought it was pretty good. I'm okay. I don't want to say pretty good because that implies that I thought it was relatively great.
Yes.
In the terms of the Pro Wrestling Lookback and the way I've talked about it in the past, but I enjoyed it. It was more traditional, which I liked. Yeah. But I think
it's very physical. I thought
it was
pretty hard.
I don't know. I'm thinking about the main events in comparison to it, and it's like if we're gonna have that style, I just enjoyed Jericho Cody more because the story was better, and I think maybe because I haven't seen the full arc of Hangman and Pac and Pac turning on him and all this. Like I've seen a few episodes of AEW here and there. I want to say 3 out of the 6 or 7 that have aired. But yeah, I it was good. Not something that I'm writing home about or is gonna make my match of the year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Not that I expected it would. Yeah. I just mean
I don't like. I've thought this for quite some time, and it's like I was thinking it again throughout this match, and I just feel like Paige is kind of, I don't know. There's something that is not something missing, you know.
I don't think losing to Jericho in the first big match of this company did anything good for him. As good as that match was, and as good as it was for Jericho, I don't. And you know, as much as I love these records, I don't think that was a good idea. And I know that they want to portray him as somebody who's going to be a future star because I think he probably will be. But somebody who's a future star maybe shouldn't be losing in their first major title.
But they at the same time.
Right. Like, I was gonna because I think I know what you're gonna say, and it's like maybe he shouldn't be winning his first title match.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know if that's
no. But I was just thinking like in the grander scheme, the way they kind of laid it out is like, wouldn't you rather go with the Jericho to use on the mainstream platform that people know?
100%. Out of those two, I would. But my thing is maybe it shouldn't have been Hangman
in the first place.
Exactly. Not because he's not good enough, not because he's not capable, but if he's not going over and he's still so early, maybe let's put. Maybe him and Cody could have been the first.
Yeah, someone.
Cody could afford losing that. You know what I mean? And we know how it happened with MJF and everything, but we'll talk about it. But this match, I can't tell you any of the specific spots or anything, but I don't know what it is about Pac, man. But when you say Pac wrestling match, I just think of him standing on the apron. And I don't mean like in a tag team situation as if he's not wrestling. I just mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but he wrestles on the apron and does more moves with the apron than anybody I know or any wrestler I've ever seen. Like he's always standing on that edge of the apron there, or flipping into the ring, or flipping out and landing on the apron and staying there, or bouncing off the rope and jumping to, like, he uses the apron a lot. And whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. I just mean it's something I've picked up on in the sense that Pac likes to utilize that space in between the floor and the inside the ring. Like that.
I can't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I do. I can't say I've picked up on that a lot. But you know, it's funny that you bring that up because with Paige.
Yeah. Well, him too.
That's what I mean. I notice it with him. He always does that moonsault type of.
But both, maybe it's because it was sticking out even more because of Paige. But does he do like the bounces on the rope to outside the ring?
No, he kind of runs along the apron and does a.
Oh, and does he? Well, I've seen him do that.
He does that all. I feel like he does that all the time.
He did that in ROH. Yeah. I remember. I think I seen him do that in person. To be honest, and he does it off the top rope, moonsault, Charlotte Flair style.
You know what, man? I don't like that move.
Which one?
That running off the apron flip, because to me, I just don't. You know, I don't know.
I like it more than the moonsault.
Lately with wrestling, I've become very like that doesn't make sense.
Yep.
Lately, I do that a lot. I don't know what turned the course, or if I've always
maybe it's doing this
been that
show
way.
and like looking at wrestling the way we do on here. I don't know. I'm just saying,
I don't know if it's watching a lot of the older stuff that I've been watching, but it's just I've watched things with the eye of like, well, why would you do that? That like, why would you try it? Why would you? That doesn't make sense.
I would imagine you're not a massive fan of Ricochet then, because I feel like a lot of his moveset fits that category. Not that I don't like Ricochet. That's not what I'm getting at. I just mean he does a lot of those things where it's like, yeah, you didn't need to flip there, or you didn't need to do 2 rotations, or you didn't. But it looks cooler, and at the end of the day, man, like this is a visual art form.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's so hard to bottle up what I'm trying to.
No, because I know exactly. It's a master of riding that line.
There's a way, and I feel like AJ Styles is a guy he knows how to ride that line.
That's a great. That's a good example.
I feel like he's
maybe even maybe not. I was gonna say Jeff Hardy because he kind of puts his body on the line sometimes, but maybe he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
But no, AJ Styles. That's a really good example. I don't remember where we were.
Oh yeah, Pac and or Pac and
Pac. Is it Pac?
They always call him Pac. I thought it was Pac, but
either way, I don't. He used that before, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Still, I enjoyed this match for what it was. I guess I liked the chemistry between the two guys. For some reason, though, I just feel like there's some kind of disconnect with Hangman, and I don't know what it is exactly.
And the fan base, you mean?
Yeah, and like to bring him to the next level. Like I feel like there's something just missing. Like yeah, people like him, but they only like him because he's affiliated with all the guys. You know what I mean? The elite.
Is that true though? I don't know. Like I feel like yes before, but I feel like since AEW and the ending of ROH, he started to have more of his own thing when they gave him his own music and he started coming out to the cowboy shit in ROH. Like he wasn't. I think he was coming out to that when he was still in ROH. That cowboy style me. I don't know. I felt like at the beginning made like absolutely go listen to the first few roundtables or go talk. Yeah. But as it's come forward, I feel like he's solidified himself, I guess would be the way to describe it. I don't know. He's carved out a little niche for himself that he can be in. It's just like I said, I think they've got to really treat him right because maybe he's the kind of wrestler that could be, I don't mean himself being, I was going to say fragile, but just a fragile character in the sense that if they could tweak the wrong thing, then it's going to totally change the fans' perception of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I don't know. It's a confusing. I haven't put a lot of thought into my opinion on him, but I don't know.
Are you happy with that he didn't win?
Oh, he did win. No, he won.
Wait.
Yeah, he won.
Oh, wait. Yeah, he did. My bad. So, wait. So, does that mean Pac's got
a loss? Yes.
A couple now.
Well, they said going into it that the only loss
they treat
took
singles
was
different.
Was when Moxley left him hanging. That was the only loss he had.
Okay.
Oh, and
which again was a tag team technically. So
yeah.
Singles, he would still be undefeated.
Not that one. It was the draw. That's the only blemish they brought up was the draw.
Okay, the draw.
So this is his first real loss.
So then, I mean, maybe because I feel like an idiot now. I totally forgot that Hangman had got the W there. So maybe this is good for him going forward. You beat somebody like Pac after losing to the champion, then that's good. That's
oh yeah, no, there's nothing wrong. Yeah,
that's good
with that. I just mean as a whole, like in the bigger picture. I don't know. I don't have. That's all I'm gonna say. I guess I gotta take the wait and see approach with him.
We do.
Yeah.
I don't have a sound effect, but I was gonna say I think maybe it'll come down to his promo ability and how well he can carry an in-ring segment by himself, talking on the microphone by himself. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't see a lot of that from him too. Maybe that's it.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, I don't know how much of that I can even picture, but we should probably go forward. Cody versus Jericho.
Yeah. Because that would be the next thing that I would have seen.
This is my match of the show, my opinion.
Yeah.
Personal
for you,
opinion.
Yeah.
I thought they did a really good job in just telling the right story.
Mm-hmm.
I was bought in going in. I've not been a Cody fan, and for me to be kind of cheering for Cody in this was kind of crazy. I mean, it shows you a little bit how good Jericho is at being a heel.
Yeah.
But I was just bought into this completely, and I mean, we'll skip right to it. I mean, the end and the way that Jericho had, Cody in that Walls of Jericho stomping on his head, and then for MJF to throw in the towel, I was very taken back by that.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, I did not expect to see that. And what does this mean for Cody? Because he did make the comment that if I lose, I will never challenge for the AEW championship ever again.
I think they did it the right way to loophole around it, because he didn't, like, the towel was thrown in. Yeah. It's not like he tapped or he was, had his shoulders down.
Oh, absolutely. MJF felt like he needed to stop the match to save his friend.
And we're, by the time this is out, we'll probably have some answers from MJF.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I feel like, he did that too because he did, like, he's not worried about Cody. He's like, fuck you. Like,
well, yeah, no. I mean, at the time when he threw it in, we were supposed to believe that he was doing that to save his friend. How do you feel about the turn, though, and the kick after the match and Cody losing by, teammate throwing in the towel and then Cody getting low-blowed by MJF? And
I wish I'm
having a heel turn.
I thought about texting you Saturday night and saying, I don't trust this. Like, this is when it's... I seen this...
I think I
thought this was the moment it would happen.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I wasn't really too shocked.
Are you happy?
I'm happy... Yes.
I don't mean that it happened. I mean that it happened now. Like, I mean, are you happy that it happened when it happened?
I think you could have. Yo, you know what? This is a sticky one for me, because to me, the MJF character right now is very confusing because, like, he is
a douche,
like a heel.
He's so good at it too,
and he reminds me of like a Miz, almost like a younger,
or even worse.
Yeah. Like, he's just like a guy you don't
honestly like. I like
him.
Miz, and I don't mean to cut you off. And I like Miz, and Miz is really good. But like, he's a lot better than Miz. I'm just saying.
So?
I really do. I don't know about his in ring or anything, and how big he is, or any of that kind of stuff. Miz,
no, but I'm talking.
Miz
like
might look like a bigger dude.
Like Miz WWE champion. That's what he reminds me of.
I just mean like he's better than anything I've ever seen from Miz.
Okay.
Miz always, as much as I like it, Miz always has that like Hollywood knockoff actor vibe. Whereas like this guy just seems like a douchebag. Like he doesn't seem like, if I seen him in real life, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, it's MJ. Like I really wouldn't. I'd probably, I'm not saying I'd be like, you fucking asshole, but I wouldn't.
Well, that's how people used to feel about The Miz. That's what I mean. I think to me here, I see like it reminds me of a younger.
Maybe
Miz.
I didn't watch as much Miz back then, and I'm not sure. Like I saw early Miz, and then
with the pants and shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then later, I never saw that whole middle ground WWE champion, that era.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why. But yeah, I just think he's a really good fucking heel. But back to my question: do you think that this should have been done at this pay-per-view?
In a way, I almost feel like, like I was saying before, I feel like it kind of had to happen now, because, like I said, this character is very confusing, because you have him, he was still playing up to the heel role, but then he was almost kind of playing a babyface role because just with Cody, because that was his friend, and he was, trying to
Cody was helping him too.
Yeah, his mentor, right?
Yeah.
So it was really confusing, because he would still have matches against babyface guys.
Oh, and he would still chirp the crowd and
yeah.
all kinds of stuff, videos chirping the crowd and everything.
It's very weird, wishy-washy. And I don't know how long you can trail that out. And at the same time, the guy is such a heel. I didn't want to see him try and play a babyface role more like in the larger scheme of his character.
Yeah, it's such a tricky one, because part of me thinks, like, why did you do this right now? You could have had 2-3 weeks to, maybe even a month to build up people suspecting why he threw in the towel.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a good thing? Was it a bad thing? Was he actually trying to help his friend, or was he trying to screw him over? And we're not going to expect that subtle turn, 3 weeks down the line. I don't know. Or is it better to just not have people know that's coming? Yeah. For 4 weeks or 3 weeks, and do it at the pay-per-view and surprise maybe not everyone, but more people than you would if you dragged it out 3 weeks. Because I think I almost would rather have them dragged it out, but at the same time, if I'm somebody that's watching this show every week, I feel like I know that's coming. Yeah. So, I don't know.
And even just knowing the MJF character. It's like,
well, that's what I mean. Yeah. If he didn't do it at the pay-per-view, then for the next 3 weeks... Unless, they start going for the tag titles, it's like, well, then where is this leading to?
Yeah.
But
well, the only other thing that I was thinking, like, even a longer term, like they could have kept it going for a couple of months, like have them still be. But I don't necessarily want to see that, because the whole time we've all the fans have been thinking,
well, this is what I'm saying.
When we know it's coming.
Couple months, I think, would have been too long. It would have been to the point where people were banging the table saying, "Okay, turn him already."
That's where I was okay with this.
I think I think you're right, and I mean I'm okay with it too. But I think they were trying to catch as many people off guard as they could, whether that was majority or not. I think they were trying to at least capitalize on as many people being caught off guard as possible. But I feel like we should talk a little bit about the champion, since he won the match. Technically, La Champion, little bit of bubble. Little bit of buble.
He's hilarious, man.
He's the man right now. He really is. His promos are incredible. He's just such a veteran of the business.
I want to talk about I'm trying to think of some of the things now in the match that he did that really got me like.
For me, it was, and here we go, first time of the night. But it took me listening to the Wade post show, the roundtable that they did actually. And it was Jericho stomping on Cody's head when he had him in that walls, and that kind of leading to MJF throwing the towel in. That was the major spot that's sticking out for me. There was another one I liked when I think Cody was jumping off the top rope and Jericho caught him with a code breaker off the top rope. Again,
whipping him with the belt.
I was just gonna say that's another thing that I had heard on the show that I kind of sparked my memory was, oh yeah, when they were whipping him with the belt. Not only that. They mentioned, and I don't know if I would have picked up on this, but just that the referee wasn't just watching this happen. Like, she was trying to get that belt out of his hands and stop him.
Was she?
Honestly, I'm taking Bruce Mitchell. Shout out to Bruce Mitchell, PW Torch, his word on it, because he was describing it this way, and I'm like, yeah, that's actually a good point, because the referee should be trying to get the weapon, and then when the referee does, or is. You should give it to them because they're the referee and they can disqualify you. So Jericho or whoever, I think it was Jericho that was beating Cody with it, right? So I think Jericho stopped. Like, he gave the thing to the it's not like he continued to just, not obey the referee's orders. And it makes sense when that's the referee.
See, this is an interesting topic in itself, because I was like, the commentators brought it up, I think, or maybe something else I was listening to. I was watching it and I'm like, okay, I like the fact that she's letting it go because it's a high match situation. Because I didn't pick up on her trying to.
See, this is just me saying it off of what I'd listened to, honestly, and I don't recall enough because, again, this is almost, on the weekend, I don't know, a couple days.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I like when referees matter, but if you're saying that it wasn't so much
I didn't pick up on that, though.
Okay.
Like, I thought, when my thinking was, okay, big match situation, I'm not going to disqualify him. I'm going to kind of let the rules bend a little bit for both guys, because the fans are going to be so pissed if that's how this match ends.
Exactly.
Similar to like when there's like, two guys on the outside and
I know exactly what
throw
you
them
mean.
both back in or something. So I thought that was it. But maybe she was trying. Like, I honestly didn't pick up on that part.
And even if she was, it's kind of like, okay, I'm not going to disqualify them, but I'm going to let them use this for a second, and I'm going to try and get it. I'm going to try and get it back. And rather than disqualifying the person that's using it, I'm just going to try and take it.
Yeah.
After they've used it for a little bit, but I don't know. Overall, good match. I enjoyed this one. It was my opinion. This should have. I mean, it's hard to say with the way that this show ended and the massive match that we're about to talk about. Well, that you're about to talk about mostly, but not because I don't like it. Just because I didn't see as much of it as you did either. But either way, I just think that this was a good. You could have not had the main event, not because I don't want it. But you could have not had the Kenny and Moxley match, and this pay-per-view would have been fine, I think, with this match ending the way it did and all the other matches on the card being the way they were. Again, that's not me saying this because I don't like the main event. That's just me saying that the pay-per-view up until the end of this AEW Championship match could have been its own pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And then we got this crazy hardcore 40-minute fucking ECW
I needed that
reincarnation at the end of it, which I guess we should get into now, and I don't have any again sound effects. I gotta get better. I gotta maybe I've been saying that almost every week. Anybody who listens to the show is like, this guy's gotta get some fucking sound effects. He's never got any sound effects. He's sitting here stuck with his old ones.
Let me tell you something, brother.
That's it. So I don't have any here. He was in ACW, so this is as close as that I got.
What?
I think there you go. That's as close as you're gonna get for ECW.
Oh man.
But yeah, John Moxley, Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
And everything else, the kitchen sink included.
The match the world's talking about, right?
Yeah.
What's going on out here? What are people saying? What have you seen? What are you thinking?
Well, I know we talked about this earlier in the week, and I know you've been a big, proponent.
Yeah. I loved this.
Yeah, you enjoyed this match.
Loved it
quite a bit. It was right up your alley.
It's not even, dude. I don't know how to explain this. I said to people, like I talked to, shout out to Young.
Yeah, young boy, young dog. Where you at?
I spoke to him briefly about it, and I spoke to Chohan about it, and I said, this is one of the best things I've seen in a long time. And I said things specifically being like, not just in wrestling, just like movies. I watch movies, I watch shows. This was highly enjoyable for me. Like, I loved it. Call me a mark.
No.
I loved it. This is my shit. This is right up my alley.
Can you give me like the 3 things about it that you enjoyed the most? And I don't mean like I enjoyed when he broke the glass. I mean, like, what about this type of match and this match specifically? And if I'm putting you on the spot, tell me. But
it's the story of the whole match. You know what, man? Blessing in disguise that Mox and him never went down the first time, because that just added more to this. The injury that happened, obviously, right? The fact of Kenny, like, these guys are probably 2 of my favorite wrestlers out there, right? Yeah. 2 guys I really enjoy. So it's a dream match for me as a fan watching. That probably 2 years ago I thought I never would have really seen, or maybe I would have seen these 2 wrestling in WWE.
In WWE, right?
Yeah. So to have that be another thing, the dream match scenario, the fact that Kenny was so like, I like Kenny, but he was very like snobby. Kind of like, well, I'm better than you. Like,
he's got the silver hair and shit back, right?
And like, he was very.
Well, he had
smug. Smug, yeah, yeah.
He had the line of the week last week. I talked about it on the show with Will, and
when he said, "What are you
gonna do? Wrestle me, John?" Like that way, and that's not a slight or a knock or whatever you want to say on Jon Moxley and him not being a good, traditional in the ring wrestler. Mm-hmm. It's just a good fucking line.
You know what? Honestly,
it's just a good line.
I thought he should have done. I was hoping that there was going to be a point in the match where Mox would have kind of wrestled him a bit and been like, "Hey."
Did they have a section of the match where they were kind of having, suplex here, suplex there, and it wasn't all weapons?
There was definitely points where it was not, but it wasn't as technical as I would have.
No,
I would have preferred like a little piece, like not even a huge chunk of the match, but a little piece where Mox maybe puts him in some holds and kind of
says like, I can wrestle,
smacks him around.
How's this, Kenny? Yeah. Puts him in a headlock.
But the one thing he did do, which I really liked, talking back to the smugness of it, was there was a point that Mox had him, and I think he was with the barbed wire bat, and he was he's like, talk your shit now. Because Kenny, I feel like Kenny talked a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I like Kenny, but I want to see him get punched in the mouth.
Really?
In this.
See, it's funny you say that, because even when you said these are 2 of my favorite guys, I don't associate Jon Moxley and you being, like, obviously he is now.
That's because of the watered down
Dean Ambrose version?
That it became, you know what I mean?
The leather jacket.
Me and you weren't doing the show when the Shield was around.
No, that's true. Like, that's true. You were a big fan of the Shield.
Yeah, man.
I guess that's right. The whole time we've been doing the Look Back, Pro Wrestling LookBack, Dean Ambrose, Jon Mox hasn't really been
triple coffee. I'm crazy. that shit. Fuck that. Fuck that shit, bro. Because this, I don't know. I just like it because
good shit, man.
All the times I feel like the guy. This is what he's like. This is what he's all about, man. Like, it's good to just see him get to do with the wrestling he likes to do.
Okay, so are we okay with guys getting this beat up and hurt in front of us for our entertainment?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate.
Because I think there was not like, I don't know. There was
this match was violent.
Yeah.
Like, I seen a clip, because let me preface this for the listeners. I watched most of this match, and I may or may not have fallen asleep once or twice during it. Not because the match wasn't good enough. Mm-hmm. It was because I was indulging and it was late, and this show went late. Mm-hmm. And I was just tired, and I was watching on my phone, so it wasn't like I had this big screen to keep me awake.
Yeah.
And it was just like a quick doze, 2-minute kind of thing, come back up, and I'm like, oh, shit. But I saw a clip on Instagram that I didn't see in the match, because and I didn't even mention that the other reason I didn't see the rest of the match was because the stream I was watching just cut out more than once, and I ended up just kind of saying,
that happened
fuck this.
To a lot of people, supposedly, I heard.
Okay, well, that's good to know that it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
Well, not good to know, but either way, I wasn't the only one affected. It
No,
wasn't
I think
just
it
my
happened
stream.
to a lot of people. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Because it cut out right at the end of the finish with Jericho. All I saw was the towel get thrown, and then it cut. And then same thing here. The last thing I saw was Kenny have John. I keep wanting to call him Dean. Up for the winged angel.
Yeah.
On the entrance ramp. After the Bucks said no, you got to stop, and then they pulled out the mattress, barbed wire mattress, I guess you could call it.
Yeah. Or barbed wire bed, yeah, sure, whatever.
And then I never saw. All I saw was I tried to get back into the stream, and it was still being super choppy. And all I saw was the two of them laid out on this mat, and scratches on their back. And then at that point, I was just like, "Well, that's got to be it. Like Dean must get pinned, right there." And then that's the match. They had a crazy match. This seems maybe I've watched too much WWE, and that's just they're going up the top of the ramp, and he puts them off the ramp, and they went through the thing, and that's the end. Boom, sparks, smoke. Bob's your uncle. So I listened to that roundtable show, and I heard shout out to Todd Martin, one of the guys on there, and I heard him mention, well, yeah, so he gets the win here, and I'm like, excuse me? John won?
Yeah.
And I had no idea that John won the
this.
match until 45 minutes before we hit record tonight. So I've yet to go back and see how the finish actually took place. But back to my original point, the only reason I wanted to kind of give you the backstory, but I saw a clip on Instagram of Kenny scraping his back
that was beautiful.
with the broom and literally just cutting his back. And I was like, this is insane. And was that after they had went through the mattress? Because I must have missed that then.
Yeah, that was earlier.
So for the listeners who want to hear it again, and for me who didn't see it, if you can remember, kind of paint me the picture as to what happened, if you can, post barbed wire mattress.
Oh, post barbed wire mattress.
Because that's when I had stopped watching, so I don't know how John won this match.
So that's when they went back. They went back to the ring.
I'm sure it took them a bit to get out of the barbed wire, and the Bucks were around.
The Bucks and everybody kind of helped. I feel like more people were assisting Kenny, and Mox was kind of stuck.
That makes sense.
There, and eventually got out. I don't remember the sequence of them necessarily fighting to get back to the ring.
But they made their way back to the ring, no worries.
And it ended up with Moxley cutting the apron, lifting the ring. So we're getting the full exposure of the wood.
Okay, bringing it back to, well, many times it's happened, but Undertaker and Brock Lesnar is the one I think of, as crazy as maybe that sounds.
What's crazy, dude?
The Hell in a Cell.
I don't want to get too far off topic. You know what I think of with that is AJ and Bully Ray at Bound for Glory.
Jesus fuck.
That is always, because I think that might have been the first time I seen that, like the ring
get cut open like that.
I think it was.
They must have done it back in the early WWE. No, 2000s, 2003,
probably
3,
but I'm
4.
Just saying, I don't know why I always associate this AJ
that.
Bully Ray match from Bound for Glory.
It's keep the Moxley stuff in your head. Quick side topic, but I've recently followed Impact Wrestling on Instagram, just to kind of keep up to date, whatever. And they post a lot of classics, like a lot of this happened in 2007. I gotta be honest, there was 2 times this week where I almost fucking subscribed to Impact Network or whatever it is, just so I could go back and watch the TNA from 2007, 2006, 8, all that era. Like that, I'm sure you've seen it. Was that when Kurt Angle does that front flip? When he runs off he's literally on the stage. It's one of the craziest spots I've ever seen. He literally runs off the stage, does a fucking front flip somersault, and then lands on the guy. It sounds like,
I feel like
he did a front flip. Yeah. Good for him. But it was honestly insane.
I feel like I have seen it. Who's it? Jeff Jarrett or Samoa Joe? Someone of that nature. He was.
Did he hit? Yeah. I think it was Jeff Jarrett.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I want to see if I can find it. But we can get back to the Moxley and Omega and kind of how the match closed, I guess, with the apron.
So
or not the apron, but the wood. Sorry
for the listeners if I'm not up to piece on the whole exact way it went, because the last time I literally watched it was Sunday afternoon. But I'm pretty sure Kenny might have hit, I don't know if he hit the one-winged angel or he hit a nice suplex, but he did hit Moxley with something, and it was a close call. Mox had kicked out, I believe, and I know Mox, the ending was just, he gave him the finisher, I don't know what he calls it now, but
is it the same
DDT?
DDT, no, which I like that move, man, because it's devastating. Like, if I took both of your arms, put them in the air, and then drove your fucking head into the ground.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah.
More than, I don't know, give me somebody's finisher that looks cool that isn't, maybe I was going to say
my boy, the Swanton Bomb, like,
Yeah, fair. I was going to say the end of days, but that one actually could.
I like the DDT because it's a classic wrestling move, and I think Mox, as a guy student of the game that he is, obviously, like, that's a move you can do to anybody.
Oh, and
they always say, like, you shouldn't pick a move.
That's true.
Like, you can do that move to the Big Show.
Yep,
you could do that move.
I could do that move to
exactly.
the Big Show, and so I weigh 140 pounds on a good day.
It's good to have a finisher that you can execute on everybody. You know what I mean? And he has that.
Yeah,
it's a classic, dude. Shout out to fucking Jake the Snake.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's the DDT itself is a classic enough move, but I just was the fact that he focuses in on lifting those arms.
Yeah.
And making so like you can't. There's no options. Like it's forehead into the friggin' mat or the concrete or the wood in this case. But yeah, congratulations, Mr. John Moxley, and
the ending was even. Sorry, I love this shit so much, man. He was like when he was in the camera, and that beat, it's that music. It goes so well. Like, it's so simple, but it's so much better than the simple shit he had before. And not to sound like one of those guys, because I'm really not that type of fan where I'm all about AEW either.
No,
like I skipped
our
a lot
listeners
of
know that
pay-per-view. I watched what I wanted to watch, and it was just Mox talking to the camera at the end, and he was saying, where do I rank now? Because the match was unsanctioned. He was kind of saying that, where do you rank me now? My 1, 2. He's like, fuck you. And I love this, that he can just let loose, because that's what this guy is
who he is.
Man. Like, he's good in the box and can do. He made it work, but like the shit that I seen beforehand, or when he was in FCW, and I went back and then I started to
the William Regal feud,
watch
and that
the
kind
character,
of stuff.
Even like the CZW. Like, I watched that shit from seeing him in FCW.
Oh, like you saw him in FCW, and then you're like, I need to go back and see more of this guy.
And seeing that, and then seeing the FCW, like that's kind of what we thought where the direction he could have kind of went in, but it never really went that way.
I just don't think WWE's interested in that type of character, I guess.
And that's what I like about the fact that we can bring it all full circle back to the hardcore extremeness, the swearing, the moves, the blood, the everything. It's nice that I can get this somewhere.
Okay, and
I don't think it's going to be all the time.
But that's perfect, because that's exactly what I was going to get to next. So how often do you want to see something like this? Is this a once a year type of match? Because I don't like. I'm okay with that, and it's not that I didn't like this match. It's just I don't want this to be the norm.
I don't think it is, though.
Not because it's going to get watered down, partly because of that, but partly because I don't need to see these guys get that injured. I don't know if the glass was real, but I don't need you to crawl through glass every week or have your back scratched up with barbed wire. Like, and not that anybody really thinks we're going to get that every week. I just wanted to establish that at least my opinions are of the Cody Jericho style wrestling matches that I prefer. But again, like you said, I like that it's an option. I like that it's there. And I think obviously the reason that it closed this show was because of all the crazy shit they were going to be fighting all over the damn arena. And then with John ripping up the ring, obviously at that point, we're probably going to need a new ring if we're going to have matches after this.
Well, and you brought up a very good point when we spoke earlier in the week, talking about how, it is an unsanctioned match. So technically the last match of the show was the title match. That, to me, made a lot of sense when you said that. Yeah,
and I kind of forgot that I had said that to you this week on the phone, because you're right. Yeah, that does... If you want to look at it like the pay-per-view Full Gear ended when Cody lost, and then now we're having a unsanctioned match with two wrestlers that are part of AEW, but they're not necessarily a part of this pay-per-view, even though they were. And it didn't count towards the record, right? Because it was unsanctioned.
Yeah. So that's why it was funny that he brought it up.
Well, yeah, but that's amazing. And when you brought that up to me on the phone too about, Dean's making a big deal about how it's, I've been waiting forever to come here and fight Kenny Omega, and then now you're taking it away from me, and you're putting me in a little box, and he can really cut a good promo. I mean, not that anybody thought he couldn't, but yeah, I don't know. It was good. It was well done, I think, for what they wanted to accomplish. It touched all the buttons of hardcore wrestling, that's for sure.
Why are people upset?
It's like some guys like
fuck out of here with
no,
that,
but honestly,
you know?
the two guys I listen to at the Wade Show, like it's for one, they just want to make sure that this doesn't become something we see regularly, and then some dudes like whether I'm maybe 25% of me is in that category, but some guys just don't want to see. I don't need to see people getting that hurt. Like I'm not. This isn't why I watch wrestling. You know what I mean? That's like something that I show. And don't take this the wrong way, because I'm not. But that's something that I'm going to show to somebody that doesn't watch wrestling, to maybe get them to come over and watch some wrestling. You know, and not to say like, "Hey, yo, look at this. You're going to see this every time." But it's just like that's, I don't know, and maybe that isn't something that you would show everybody that doesn't watch wrestling. It's just that's the type of thing where somebody's like, "Oh, it's all fake shit." It's like, yeah, well, watch this. Tell them the fight. They're not actually fighting each other, but is everything they're doing fake? So you know, it's, I don't know. We could literally, I'm sure we could talk on this a long time. I don't know how much to go back and forth. I mean, you by here.
I just think the last little piece, well, a couple little things on it is
take
that
your time, bro. We got no time limit here on the round table. That's for sure.
I don't know. I don't know why people were so up in arms. Like I didn't get that, but that's just because I'm maybe so for this. But at the same time, man, like me and you have talked about this off pod. I don't think I've ever really addressed this, but like I'm cut from a weird cloth of wrestling fan to where one of my favorite matches is The Rock and Mick Foley, where he's handcuffed and gets the shit beat out of him. I love that. But then I also, one of my favorite matches is the fucking
Kurt Angle,
Chris Benoit Royal Rumble 2002. So I love both of those very much.
For different reasons.
Yeah. And I grew up on the era of the hardcore. Like there was a lot of that going on at the time. That probably a lot of that, you know, got me to look
into it.
Yeah.
I just think that's maybe this is the best way to come full circle. Is just that's what's amazing about pro wrestling is that you have those. It's the same thing. Like it's all pro wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all the same, but you have these variants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if you can compare it to something else. You probably can't. But other, you know, a UFC like you don't have those same kind of variants.
Yeah.
You have fights that maybe are more ground and pound or less submissions or this and that, but it's not to this scale where you feel like you're watching, you know, to compare, like you said, to compare this match to it's the best thing that you saw. No, but you're watching it as if like you watched, like I watched the Cody and Jericho match as if it was, you know, CSI, let's say. And then I wanted to get a little more grimy. Or maybe that's a bad example, whatever. You know, call it the Newsroom.
Yeah.
It's just a traditional television show. And then you want to watch, I don't know, give me a Walking Dead or something that's a little more jarring to the eyes.
I also really like gory.
Yeah, you love horror. You love horror films. So that makes sense, too. Shout out to the Halloween special. That was a lot of fun.
Love this
when we did that. Thanks
it's
again
in the running.
For your track on the Halloween special. It was great.
Oh, yeah.
I hope all the listeners enjoyed that.
Exclusive on the YouTube.
It's
Pro Wrestling LookBack.
It is, and the views are racking up. So go check.
It's good, man. It's good.
Go check it out. Go check it out.
One last thing.
Yes.
Because I didn't give Kenny nearly enough love, and fucking I feel like I've given so much praise to Mox, but it takes two to tango, man. And he did, like, you know, you couldn't have done this without, like, that him playing. He got very sadistic. That look in his eyes, and
he has that.
The Bucks are telling him like, no, man, and he's just like, he's like, nah, I'm doing this. Like,
when was that? Was that with the mattress thing?
Yeah.
Oh, because he was the one to kind of
go get it, and they're like, no, that's too much. They're like, chill, man. He's like, no, like and that look in his eye.
Well, that's just, I think, something that, like you said before, he's just been waiting to let that shit out. It's been there though. I don't think it went anywhere. It's just been caged up, and you know
that. Thank you, because that was another thing too. Like I've talked about this a little bit, is that the Kenny Omega, like I feel like I haven't enjoyed his recent work as much.
Yeah.
This was very enjoyable. I can say that. I talked about it with you and like Mike off record.
Yeah.
Just
what is it about his stuff that you haven't been enjoying? Because his record,
I feel like he slowed down a little bit.
I'm curious how much he's spending, and not that it's a bad thing either, how much he's spending on the women's division in AEW, because I know that's a big part of his job.
I just feel like physically,
outside of wrestling,
that year where he, you know, even leading up to that year of him becoming the champ and doing everything over there, winning the G1, even winning the G1, losing, like that whole, like he put the pedal to the fucking metal
for a whole.
I know the guy's had like nagging injuries, and he's been doing this a very, very long time, right?
Yeah. So I mean,
he's not young either. Like
but he probably wants to be wrestling for a long. Well, I guarantee he wants to be wrestling for a long time. So it's not a bad thing. We don't think AEW's going anywhere. So even at this point, if he takes a step back for a few months after losing, I'm not going to be opposed to that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Good shit though.
Build him back, add in a secondary title. Maybe he can win that, and like build him up to the point where then you can do. If not that I don't know if he'll still be champion, but you can do Jericho Omega. What is it, 3 at this point?
Something like that.
Because they fought twice, right?
I think so.
Yeah, they fought at Wrestle Kingdom, and then they fought at Double or Nothing, or not Double. Was it Double or Nothing? One of the AEW pay-per-views. Either way, yeah, it was overall. Do you want to give it a? Give me a one.
No. Stay tuned for the year-end breakdown.
Okay,
I'll get back to it. This will tie in there somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
We start doing some of our own right here on WWE Backstage. You guys in?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, what are we doing?
In 3,
surprise.
2, 1. Woo! No way! Is this a ramp? Is this a ramp? Oh my god! Holy crap! You guys don't want me to see you do this? Yeah! Come on!
Wow. I do this. Wow. No idea.
That's awesome! All right.
Well, big fucking deal.
He's back. One of those.
I change the culture. I'll see you here next week.
I love that track, man.
It's one of the best.
Takes me back.
It actually is. Like, and I didn't watch a lot of. Well, I don't think I ever saw him use that track live, but it's one of the best. And I don't think I ever thought I would be sitting here doing the round table talking to you about CM Punk in WWE. It's just not something I thought was going to be a conversation between the two of us on this show. So, I mean, you must be over the fucking moon. I mean, I know he didn't come out in his wrestling gear, but
yeah,
I don't know. I want to give the floor to you. You're the avid Punk fan. I mean, for anybody, who hasn't listened to us for a while, I'm sure you've talked about CM Punk enough on here, and I'm sure I've said some things that I may or may not regret. I don't remember at this point, but
yeah, we've had our debates.
We definitely
have had our fair share of debates.
That's for sure. But
Punk.
he's back. I don't know what to say. It's a big deal. It's awesome. It's good to see.
Yeah, it's cool because you remember there was a lot of rumors about this talk show and this Fox thing, and then like it's already started now. It's been going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's been on. I think it's every week. The only thing that upsets me is no more Renee Young like on WWE TV. We don't see Renee Young ever. The only time we see her now is on Instagram or on this show.
But this is her element.
No, for sure. I just mean, like, I guess, unless it's a travel, like, if she's still traveling to SmackDown, then why can't we have her backstage doing what she used to do?
Yeah.
The odd time. I'm not saying she's got to be, like, keep the Dasha Fuentes or whoever else is still working back there. I don't even know if she still works there, but those ladies.
Yeah.
Have Sarah Shriver. I think she's one of them, too, the blonde one.
I know Charlie,
Sarah, and Dasha Fuentes. But I don't know if. Or I think Dasha got let go, and it's that other girl that I told you about that was on Lillian Garcia. I can't remember.
So lost in that.
You gotta give me your thoughts on Punk because I'm gonna find out who that other girl is, and it's gonna shit out of me.
I'm excited to see him talk about the product with these guys because I know, like I said, we heard rumors of this, and then it kind of the show started, and you're like, oh, where's Punk? And he's not there, and then they had Christian, Paige, different people kind of on, and Samoa Joe, and. You didn't know if this was for sure going to go down, but now it's going to be here, I guess, starting next week.
Caleb Braxton. Sorry.
There we go.
That's what I had to figure that one out.
So I'm interested because I remember him saying, I've seen a few interviews, maybe a month or so back.
He's been making the rounds in the last 2 months, I'd say, month
Yeah.
or so. Kind of saying, I'm not saying I'd never go back.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know if I'd wrestle, but.
And wasn't this, he tried out, this was all like, we heard about all that shit too.
Yeah, but I gotta be honest, and I was still shocked when I seen that, when that music hit.
Oh, yeah.
And he came out, it's not like I was like, oh, they finally got him. Like I didn't.
See, that's
it was a shocker for me. As much as
I don't know. I wasn't like, I was like, oh, okay, good.
How about Seth Rollins? Fight me. Because this is like we're getting lucky here the day we're recording. I think this happened today or yesterday.
Let me grab my belt here. Let me tell you something, boy. You don't want that.
You don't want none of that?
I don't want that.
Buddy, what about this right here? Nobody can see me. But what about this?
What's that?
Right here.
The Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and it is the 29th annual PWI 500. Seth Rollins slays them all.
So how do you feel about Seth Rollins being number 1 on the PWI? Because I guess we can move forward from CM Punk. I mean, we've kind of set our piece, and we can.
Well, one last thing on it. Yeah. Quick. The one thing I'm curious to see, he said, well, if I don't like shit, like I'm not going to pretend that I like it. That's what I'm curious to see. Him talk about the product and just, because if there's shit he doesn't like, he's not with WWE, he's with Fox, right?
He's working for Fox? Yeah. That's how this works?
Yeah, like he's not. Yeah. So
I've yet to watch. Do you watch this show? Like, is it on YouTube or something? Like, have you seen?
I watched the Finn Balor interview a week ago. That's the only thing I've seen of it, and I've seen little clips here and there, and it is on YouTube. Yeah.
I saw a clip of the Finn Balor interview, and he talked about. I don't know if it was when you were here or not.
I don't think I was here.
He compared NXT and WWE, and he's like, "Oh, main roster, regular roster." He's like, "WWE is like your big budget Marvel movies."
Yeah, he was good in that interview.
And NXT is like Broadway in New York.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, that's like the best comparison of the two I've ever heard in my, because it is. Like it's the WWE is the top, the moneymaker, the best, the one that everybody knows, but maybe the better quality is coming on Broadway or coming in NXT in front of the smaller crowds and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I'll give him one more of these. It's been a theme, I feel like, the last 2 weeks, and me playing this button more than I have in the 6 weeks prior.
And I think like did we speculate on this before about him wrestling again? Like the fact that he is here, I'm good, because I do have hope that eventually this will lead to something down the line, whether it be a year from now or a few months from now. It's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, I already seen the comments on Instagram. Somebody's like, "Don't fuck it up. Have him win the Rumble and beat Brock at Mania. Don't fuck it up." And I'm just like, guys, come on.
I'm not going to lie to you. One of the first thoughts that crossed my mind today when I seen the clip was like, we're very close to the Royal Rumble season. I like this.
Dope. I'm not saying he can't.
I'm not saying that that's what's going to
happen. I just don't want him to be, like, not that it's going to happen, but I wouldn't want him to be the one to dethrone Brock. It's like, Seth couldn't do it. And
no, he did.
Roman kind of,
he slayed him.
He did. Yeah, I guess he slayed him. You're right. It's the Fiend that came and took his belt away. But now I'm just thinking because Brock still has a belt. That's why I was.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's
what is this about now? Tell me a little more about this.
This PWI 500 list. Well, it's Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Probably if not the most popular, wrestling magazine. I like to buy them sometimes. I don't go out of my way. But when I see the 500, I always like to grab that one because it's something that's cool to look at in years to come.
Definitely.
And I know I mentioned it a little bit last week with Will. We talked about it. I think we talked about it more off air than on air. We mentioned it on air and we never really got into it. But did you take a look when you were holding on to it there? Because the top 5 is a little interesting.
No, I didn't. So I'd love for you to share this with me on air.
Perfect. No, this is great. So number 1, Seth Rollins. And it kind of shows the path to number 1. So it shows like 2018, he was number 5. 2017, he's number 16. 2016, he's number 8. Mm-hmm. So it kind of shows where he's been. Number 2, Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
And I'll just go with the following year so we can kind of put it into perspective, or the following 2. So 2017, not on the list.
Yeah.
2018, number 91. So he went from 91 up to number 2.
Nice.
So quite the jump. Pretty awesome. Number 3, AJ Styles.
AJ should be in that upper echelon for sure.
Oh, yeah. And if you look back, I mean, from 14 to 18, he was number 4 3 times, and then in 17 and 18, he was ranked number 2. So he's been up there for the last 5 years consistently.
What did you say, from 14?
From 14, 15, 16, he was number 4.
And you know what?
17, 18, he was number 2.
Before you said that, I was just thinking, man, back to, when I spoke at that Bound for, like, AJ has been killing shit for a fucking...
Since 14, at least.
Now.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing in 11, 12, 13 time, but still.
Killing.
And yeah, number 3. And I don't know if you're picking up on the theme here,
Isn't
but...
AJ number 3?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay,
yeah. Number 3, AJ. Number 4.
Wait.
Kofi Kingston.
Really?
Number 4. Last year, number 82. The previous year, number 69. The highest he had received prior to this, going back to 2008,
I knew it.
Was 2010. He was 26. So that's a big jump for him to be that. I mean, number 4 on the PWI
I wonder who
top wrestlers.
Who makes this.
And I guess we can do the top 10. This is kind of fun. Number 5. And I don't know if you picked up on the theme there for the top 4, which is kind of a weird theme.
Men or WWE? They're all WWE.
WWE.
Yes.
I thought that was my first thing when
when
I first read this, because this is not a WWE style magazine. This is a very indie professional wrestling magazine. Number 5, Kazuchika Okada.
Hey.
He was number 3 in 2018. He was number 1 in 2017, and he was number 2 in 2016. So consistently podiums.
I'm glad with
for
him
this
in
guy.
Top 5 though. That's
Makes
good.
sense.
Another guy who's been killing it. For years.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. In the picture here is him and Jericho, which is kind of cool. But I don't know, with the double belt thing that me and Will talked about last week, I hope he's not the one that wins the double belts, but I don't know. I think he probably will be, if I had to guess, like I said last week.
Yeah.
Number 6, Johnny Gargano.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's up there.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
They gave it to him. He had a good year.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did.
2018, number 34. 2017, number 80. And the only reason I'm bringing it up because it's so low, 2016, 114.
Ooh.
So, but I mean, going up to like 2010, he was ranked like 363.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is 500 people. Moving forward, number 7.
Are we still all in
Roman
Reigns?
Reigns.
Other than Okada, eh?
Other than Okada, it's all WWE, which is crazy.
This is wild.
He was ranked number 7 in 2018. He was ranked number 4 in 2016, and he was ranked number 1 in number 4 in 2017, and number 1 in 2016.
I remember hearing about that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's the big dog.
No, but for PWI to be rating him, that's even before he had all these crazy pushes, and that was like post Shield, basically.
Yeah, I think it was like during
after Mania,
like him winning Rumble. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wouldn't have expected him to be number 1. Like maybe 2017. I feel like he was the champion in 2017, not 6. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting confused.
1 second.
Yeah,
so it goes Mox, Reigns, Seth, and that is how I like my Shield brethren.
What do you mean? Say that again. Like in order of who you like the most?
Yeah, and it wasn't always that way. I just want to say that.
Oh, you just want to get that.
I just want to throw that out there.
Seth's creeped his way down lower on that list, I would imagine.
Yes.
Kenny Omega, number 8. He was number 1 in 2018, number 5 in 2017, and number 23 in 2016. So kind of all over, and good to see him still in the top 10 here 2 years in a row.
And so this is for the year of
2019.
2019. Okay,
2019.
fair enough.
The current year. Here we go. Another one non-WWE.
And what number is this?
Number 9.
Number 9.
Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Oh, Tanahashi, really?
And that's I always get mixed up with Tanahashi and Takahashi. Tanahashi is like the John Cena.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how I always remember.
Guitar.
Air guitar, yes. The big suit. He's the one who's been around forever. And the picture here, he's fighting, what's his name? Skinny British guy there. Bend your arm in half.
Oh, Zack Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr. That's what I couldn't remember his name, honestly. I wasn't trying to. 2018, he was number 31. 2017, he's number 39. In 2016, he was number 27.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10, I guess we should probably round it off here. I mean, it is 500.
Come on.
It's not going to be anybody you like, my friend.
Really?
Number 10 is Will Ospreay.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
He has only ever been ranked 3 times. 2018, number 12. 2017, number 21. In 2016, he was number 16. And then it doesn't show any other, so I guess he wasn't in the rankings. Years pro, 7. Wow, good for him. But that is the top 10 Pro Wrestling Illustrated 2019 PWI 500. If you want to know the rest, go pick up the latest edition of the Pro Wrestling Illustrated, available on your local newsstands.
Dude, so
sponsor not provided by Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
What are we taking away from this here? What do you think? What's going on?
Who doesn't make the cut that should be? Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah. What do you think of this top 10?
I don't mind it, and I like that there's this much WWE presence because I didn't expect it. I don't want to get into too much of the other ones, but we have a lot of random ones. Samoa Joe at number 11, which shocked me. What? Yeah, John Moxley number 20. Naito 25.
Interesting. I'm very curious.
Rich Swann number 89. Eric Rowan at 92. So, like, you know, there's guys all over the list.
Yeah, I'd like to take a look at that later.
Yeah, by all means. You can even borrow it if you like. But that's, like I said, pick her up on the local newsstands. Sponsor not provided by Pro Wrestling Illustrated. But it's a good magazine. And that one, if you're only going to buy one a year, that's the one, I think. Kind of gives you the ranking.
Oh, yeah, that's a good,
gives you the ranking. I've got some of the other ones. I don't know. I don't want to do it now on air, but I've got some of them buried here in this stack of Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazines.
All right, on the topic of this kind of thing, can you give me, maybe, if you can, if not, it's okay. Do you have like a couple of people, maybe 2 or 3 or like 3 at most, maybe like in a running for a potential wrestler of the year? You know, do you have any candidates here? Like just off the top,
You're gonna be mad when I say this.
Oh, okay.
But I'm okay. Let me preface the answer first. I'm this person is off bell to bell.
Bell to bell.
Seth, honestly, everything Seth's done outside of inside the ring, I haven't liked. But his matches in the ring, bell to bell, all year have been good. I can't complain about the stuff because he's a good wrestler.
Yeah,
he's had amazing matches on Raw lately with Jesus Christ, Adam Cole.
Yeah,
and Walter this week on Raw, which should have been built up way longer. But I don't want to go with the easy answer. The guy that's literally number 1 on the cover of the damn magazine. But in ring, that's the name, and maybe because he spent more time in the ring than a lot of the other guys. Seth Rollins sticks out. Oh man, you are. I'm not good at this. This is not. But I'm trying to think hard about this too. Honestly,
is the man in the running?
She is, but I didn't want to go with her because she had such a good 2018 too. That it's like I want to kind of give it to somebody else. But yeah, her run post WrestleMania, Becky 2 belts. Yeah, I've enjoyed all of that. I'm trying to think of somebody that's come out of the woodwork out of nowhere, kind of like, well, Ricochet's done really well for himself and to be in main event feuds and stuff with guys like Randy Orton, we'll talk about in a little bit. I don't know. I like the question, but I'm trying to think on air, and it's tough to come up with a few. But Ricochet is one that honestly stands out pretty prominently for me. Adam Cole and Undisputed Era as a whole, they've had a really good year. Walter and the Emporium, I don't watch a lot of them, but I know like just their presence alone, it shows. I don't know, cadence. It shows. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. Definitely.
And a little side note on Emporium, I had no idea that the guy Alexander Wolf from Sanity was in that group. I had no idea when they showed up on Raw this week, and I seen him. I was like, oh.
That's where he went.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was thinking the same thing because Killian Dane, what happened to him? He's gone.
He's around.
He's around.
Oh, he just attacked. He's doing shit in NXT. Yeah.
It's unfortunate that group never really got the right due or right opportunity, I guess you could say, on the main roster.
Not to dive into a Sanity fucking conversation, but I feel the most for EY.
Well, but that's what I mean.
Because Eric Young, I mean, he's just
unfortunate at his age.
That's what I mean. He's the elder statesman of that group. Like these other guys, Killian Dane and Wolf and Nikki, like they got time to do their thing. UI, this was his thing in the main dance, and that's it.
It's unfortunate, and I don't want to make it be the cliche like you might as well. But he's somebody. Go to AEW, man. Have one more good storyline run. Put somebody over. Do something. I don't know, because. Unless the paycheck is just way better for WWE and he's content and he's happy, I don't know. I'm not telling him what to do, obviously. But, dude, like he's...
Why can't we use him here and to make him great again? Why can't he...
No.
I know. I'm not...
It's not that I don't think we can... It's just I've seen...
Like they always do that.
I've seen what they've done with him for a year. Like he's having matches on main event and losing. So it's like...
You know where I think he'd be good?
They don't care.
I think he'd be a good contender for that Cruiserweight title. With a good character run.
How big is he, though?
He's not that big.
No? Because I think of him to be... But I think, again, Buddy Murphy's fucking huge, too, and he was a Cruiserweight champion for a while, too. Not huge, but you know what I mean. He's jacked.
He could make the cut.
Yeah, I guess that's right. It's just they probably look at it the same way you do, and they're like, oh, this guy's a little older. Maybe we'll get him to put somebody over, and then we can have that guy be the new Cruiserweight champion, the guy that he puts over. You know?
I could see him and...
I don't... No, trust me, bro. Eric Young was like one of my first favorite wrestlers.
Yeah.
Like, I liked Eric Young when he was in Team Canada in TNA way back, and I barely even watched TNA. I just kind of chose a guy, and I was like, I like this guy. And I liked him, and I just started becoming a fan of him way back with the blonde hair and shit. So I like him. It's not that I don't think he's good. It's just his time has almost passed, and it's, what are you going to do now? Well, I don't want to say that like he can't wrestle anymore, because he definitely can.
Yeah.
It's just... He even looks old now, man. Like, he's got the gray hair and the gray beard. Like,
he shaved the head and shit too, right? And he's got the... But I hear you.
Yeah, that's all. I just don't know how much, like you said, the time is left for him.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I don't know where else you wanted to go from there as far as what were we talking about before we got on the sanity thing?
We were just kind of talking about. I asked you some candidates.
Oh yes, for Wrestler of the Year. That's what I was trying to think of more, and I don't know. I'm looking up on my Kylo Ren collection, getting excited for this Star Wars movie. I can't think about any.
Yeah,
past.
It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good.
Oh, I can't wait. But no, I'm trying to
think
think
of
names.
You gave me.
You know
names.
what? Here's another one, and it's maybe it's a little current, but it's just because they've really pushed the pedal down a lot sooner than I ever thought they would. Humberto.
Yeah.
That bass, as you call him.
Would you give him Wrestler of the Year?
No. I'm just trying to think of people that...
Maybe a rookie.
Definitely he'd be in the standing for Rookie of the Year. And I think maybe, take it back your question a little. I'm just trying to think of people that have stood out to me that I wasn't expecting to maybe stand out to me before. So yeah, Rookie of the Year might be a better spot for him. And I don't know, man. It's a tough... save it. It's a good it's a good preview, but stick around, guys, because the Best of show is coming again just like last year, and we'll be diving in
with new awards,
with new awards, new show, maybe new guests, maybe not, probably not, but definitely new awards and our wrestlers of the year, rookies of the year, and all that kind of stuff. That show's fun to do, and I don't know why I'm going to say this now, but I just let people know I'm going to be dropping when we do. Hopefully, we can get Younger back for it too. That would be amazing. Yeah. For the anniversary show when we do that after the Rumble, after Raw that night. We got to make sure we book that Tuesday off if we can. And do that. I want to post, because anybody who listens to the shows on YouTube, that anniversary show never got posted last year on YouTube. So it's never been, that show is only available on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Google Play, all those places that aren't YouTube. So this year when we drop the anniversary show, I'm probably going to drop that one as well.
For sure.
And just have them both, just so they're on YouTube.
Yeah, man.
The only reason I'm waiting is because I don't want to put that show in between all these roundtables and lookbacks that we're doing throughout the year.
Yeah.
I'd rather just drop them both at the end of the year. But yeah, that's your little insight for the behind the scenes of the look back. Why don't we talk a little bit about Raw? Because we have been going, well, not long, but
let's talk about it. I was kind of pissed because I came home. So typically on Mondays, I will literally catch like the last hour of Raw. By the time I get home, it's like 10. I'll just plop around.
Almost every week, you said at this point. Yeah.
And when I was home a little
it's got to be
earlier.
Interesting.
You know what? I like it.
Well,
it's not a lot to digest. Like, I'm actually okay.
Well, and they fill you in. Like, they're always going to be like, this happened at 8 o'clock. You know what I mean? This happened earlier in the night. And this happened too. Well, I feel like they've been good. They've been pretty good. That's one thing that WWE does extremely well, whether it's a detriment or not, is they always have their show geared towards somebody who's never watched it before. You could always watch Monday Night Raw and not feel like, you might feel lost in the storylines. Yeah. But you're not going to feel lost in the sense of like how they produce the show. They're going to keep you updated on what happened earlier and what's coming next. And sometimes, yes, they're going to be unorganized, but they're always going to let you know, what's going on or what you missed if you're just tuning in right now.
There was a couple weeks ago when they showed the attack where Ray had attacked Brock.
Yep.
I was glad because I missed that. And they just popped. I was like, oh, wow.
Was that the same night? No, I think it was after. when Brock attacked all three of them in the dressing room, because that was nuts. And I don't know if me and you ever talked about that.
I think was on. No, that was
leading into
Crown
Saudi.
Jewel.
Yeah, that makes sense. Crown Jewel.
But this week, sorry, I was pissed because
back to this
I was
week's
home a little
episode.
earlier, and I think I turned her on, and I seen fucking Walter there in the ring and I'm like, what the fuck? I expected NXT.
Perfect.
But I wanted to ask you about this a couple weeks back, and I was going to
way.
be like, yo, do you think NXT UK is going to be in Survivor Series? Because they should, or at least Walter should, because he's the fucking man, right?
But the way
He's
I
the
look,
champ. And he pops up on NXT. And
I wish
NXT
it was called
pay-per-views.
WWE UK,
Yeah, okay.
because it's not the NXT UK champion. He's a WWE UK champion.
Is that what they've...
Well, that's the title. It's called the WWE United Kingdom Championship. So I thought about that this week when he came out with the belt, and I'm like, oh, yeah, these guys are NXT. But you got to keep in mind like how niche that... Like, NXT is niche on its own, let alone NXT UK.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people are watching that show that live here.
True.
There's a lot, don't get me wrong, but not anywhere near like Monday Night Raw or anything like that. So... And if they do include it, are they...
Well, I would only include him. Sorry. Only nothing against, not to take away from any of the men or women over there, but maybe
because
him or
he's
the female champ.
champion.
Yeah, maybe
just the
them.
champion is what you're saying.
That's it.
Which, is the female champion involved?
No.
Huh.
I mean, not yet. I don't think she will be. And I'm not even sure who has that title right now.
I was going to say, I honestly, right now, I forget, because it was the girl, Rhea Ripley, right? But she lost it, I think.
Yeah, I forget. It slips my mind.
I'm not sure either. It's okay. We don't watch it, so I can't get mad about something I don't watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. As far as them joining the NXT or him joining the NXT crew, I would be fine with it. But
I missed the... Like, I don't even... Like, can you tell me how this started? Because I didn't even see...
Well, that's...
Like,
I have it literally written on my sheet, Emporium, Dawn, do you like this? ? And it's highlighted. Well, you say yes.
Yes, but no.
Because you liked the fact that he was on the show. I didn't like this at all.
Why?
Because I don't like any of this.
What?
I don't like any of this NXT Survivor Series bullshit.
No.
I hate it all.
Why?
Because it's so contrived. It's so just fake. All of a sudden, in 2 weeks, it's gone. Once Survivor Series is out, like, I just wish we got to see Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster make an actual debut on the main roster. Not, or main Raw. I seen NXT post a picture today, we are the main roster. But I just mean, I liked debuts. That's like one of my favorite things in wrestling is like somebody unexpectedly debuting on a show. And when we're getting all these debuts just because it's Survivor Series and NXT works together because they care right now and then they don't later. It's just like Raw and SmackDown. All the guys on Raw are teammates now because they all of a sudden they all care about Raw. It just doesn't excite me. It's very underwhelming. It's not that I don't hate it. I said I hate it. It's just I find it extremely underwhelming that it's like, oh, we're getting all these debuts, but it's just because it's Survivor Series. It's not like none of it.
Well, they're not really debuts, you know.
But they could have been.
They could have been, yeah.
Like, Walter showing up on Raw, to me, is a big deal.
Yeah,
and it's
definitely.
only happening because of Survivor Series. And I don't think, whether you want to get into wins and losses mattering, I don't think Walter should be losing
That's what I was
his
gonna say.
debut match
that's what I
on
didn't
Monday
like.
Night Raw against Seth Rollins. And I know it's Seth, but...
Technically, he didn't get pinned, right? He wasn't the guy who got pinned.
Well, no, actually...
Which is good. That's something they did right. But still, his team lost. And they were in UK, too, which is... What the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean?
For him to lose, yeah, well... I don't know, man.
That's what I didn't like about it. Like, I didn't like the fact that they were in the UK... The first time we're seeing these guys on Monday Night Raw, and they're losing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I don't even remember who they fought now, but I wrote it down. Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. They were in a match too, and it was like, I like Mark Andrews. He's one of my favorite guys in the company.
Yeah.
So when he makes his first match on Raw, like, I want it to be kind of built up, not just because like I guess they didn't really have anything to do with Survivor Series. I don't know why they were there. Or if it was just because they were in the UK.
Yeah, that's what I think. Because it was only UK NXT people, right, on this show.
Yeah, but again, it's like, it's so uneventful. It's like, oh, we're in UK, call them over. It's not.
Yeah, they didn't do this one right. I'll tell you that much. Like the previous weeks have certain things have been done really well.
Yeah.
Certain things have not,
But I think that's where we're gonna have different of opinions. And I talked to you on the phone about it. Like I
Yeah.
didn't think SmackDown 2 weeks ago was anything special.
No.
No,
Like when they first came?
not at all.
Why not?
Because it's only for Survivor Series. If this had nothing to do with Survivor Series, man, I would be way more excited. Because it's like, oh, why are they here? Like why is NXT on Raw? And it's so contrived.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get excited about it because I know why they're there, and I know that they're not gonna be there in 3 weeks. Whereas if they just randomly showed up in June,
Yeah, I hear you.
and beat up somebody, then
Yeah.
it's like, yo, NXT just showed up on Raw and beat somebody up. Why? What's going on?
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound jaded or negative, but this is just actually how I feel.
Yeah.
I've been very pulled away from all this stuff
Mhm.
and less interested in it because, like, unless they do something after post Survivor Series that changes it, it just doesn't mean anything. It's all just.
Well, we're gonna find out who's the superior brand, right?
I guess.
That's what it's for, right? Technically.
You sound like Vince McMahon now, there, Don.
No, but dude, I'll tell you this much. I like maybe I know you don't you're not as much watching NXT either right now.
maybe that's another
Maybe that
big
has
reason.
a piece to do with
That's
it.
probably a massive
But
reason.
at the same time, man, I'll tell you this: like, if it was gonna be Raw, SmackDown bragging rights, I would have been this got me excited because we have a new element. That's what it's the new element for me. Like maybe next year if they repeat the same thing, rinse, wash, repeat, I'll be whatever.
I agree with you what you said about.
But it's because it's the
bragging rights.
first. It's new. I don't want. I was so we're all sick. We're so sick of that fucking bragging.
Completely,
Raw, SmackDown.
man. And I've preached it now for 3 weeks. I don't want to sound redundant, but it's just give me a 5-on-5 match between two guys that have been feuding. Maybe The Fiend is a bad example, but give me Seth Rollins, Team Rollins versus Team Fiend.
Yeah.
Or that wouldn't work, but you know what I mean? Give me that. Give me.
Yeah, they could have done Ray, Brock, team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just what I don't. I hear you. It's better than the bragging rights. SmackDown versus Raw. Raw's going to SmackDown. SmackDown's going to Raw. It is new. It is different, and I agree with all of that. It's not like I would rather this than that, of course. Yeah. But it's just it doesn't get me. And you might have hit the nail on the head with me not watching and not being as big of an NXT fan as I used to be. Maybe I just don't care that they're debuting, but some of the ones that I do when I see Mark Andrews debuting and it's not a big deal, it gets me upset because it's like, well,
the guys you do like are
it doesn't matter. It's just, they're here because we're in the UK, not because they're good. Not because we wanted to bring them up to the main roster at this point. I don't know what the fuck's a main roster, but wanted to bring them over to Raw or bring them over to SmackDown. I don't know. I don't want to sound too negative, but I sound very negative.
I like it just because it's cool to see them interact that we haven't seen a lot of them interact. I just like that fantasy-ishness of it because of the fact that we don't get I don't know how the whole thing's gonna work in the future of call-ups and this and that, but it's we might not see these guys consistently on the same show, certain ones, so that part is kind of cool to see them interact and shit.
I'll put it to you this way. I am way, way, way more excited for the 2 triple threat matches than I am for any other SmackDown versus Raw versus NXT matches.
Yeah, we don't even really know.
I'm excited for AJ Styles versus Roderick Strong versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
That's going to be incredible.
It is.
And it's 3 belts, US, Intercontinental, North America. North America.
Yep.
So they're all related. They haven't had any bullshit where fucking AJ Styles, I guess AJ Styles is attacking kind of Undisputed Era as a whole, but it's not like we've seen too much of that. There's no Roddy attacking Nakamura.
You might. We got a couple weeks.
You're probably right. But either way, I like those, and even the way that they've done the Shayna Baszler, Becky,
that's been done well too.
And Bayley stuff has been amazing. I didn't talk about it last week, but that segment with Shayna Baszler sitting down on Becky Lynch's one-on-one interview was incredible. One of the better backstage segments I've seen in a while, especially from 2 women, but just not to say that the women don't have good backstage segments, but you know what I mean. It was a well done, well thought out writing story that they wanted to tell there.
Yeah.
I
What
want
about the Adam Cole stuff?
Well, who's he fighting?
Well, I believe that
He's
he'll
gonna
probably be captaining the NXT
of the
team.
NXT. See, that's the match where like I could not watch that match and I'll be fine. Like I'm going to because we're gonna all be watching it.
Yeah.
But I just don't care. It means nothing.
The only thing I don't like about it is all the triple threats. Is that now it's triple threat. If I was designing this, I would have kind of just spaced it out a little differently. Like maybe one match we have Raw versus SmackDown, one match we have
NXT versus.
You know what I mean? Versus Raw.
Yeah.
I would have done that personally, and maybe have a one triple threat with the women, or maybe you know what I mean. I would have mixed it up like that because you could have. There's ways around that. I think.
This is off topic from Monday Night Raw, obviously, but do you think it would have been a better idea to do? I mean, we just said we didn't want it, but bragging rights SmackDown versus Raw at Survivor Series, and then NXT versus NXT UK at War Games?
Nah, I like this better.
Yeah?
Yeah. Only because
I'm just thinking about the potentials, like an Adam Cole Walter,
because
I would like to see that as much as a mismatch as that would be. It would be interesting.
I just feel like it's more often than not we will see the UK guys at least on NXT TV.
Yeah.
Or at the takeover events.
That's true. They pop up more, so it's not as big of a deal.
Yeah,
and it would be too yellow.
Even though Raw and Smack, it's not a big deal either. Right? But
it would be if they didn't just draw the line 3 weeks ago in the sand and say, you're on Raw, you're on SmackDown. It's just the fact that me and Will talked about it. It just happens to coincide that like the Survivor Series is always like 2 months or a month after they've just set the rosters. So it's like these people don't necessarily, have that much pride for a specific brand because they haven't, like, we had a wild card 2 months ago. No, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
You're on any show you want. It's a wild card.
And like,
I don't know.
I'm not I'm not huge on fucking the 15-man 5-on-5. Like that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be Team Raw, Team SmackDown, Team NXT,
triple threat.
But I can say if I don't know because they've fucked this shit up many a times. But if done right, you could make that a really, really entertaining match if done right.
Yeah, I just feel bad for anybody sitting in the front row
for the first chunk of it
because
we get some eliminations.
You're not going to be able to see much besides ass. Let me get to some of the more positive shit that I did see this week, though, because as maybe not everybody else enjoyed it, but I had really enjoyed the backstage segment with the Singh brothers and R-Truth that went down this week. And R-Truth having a 2v1 match in the ring for the 24/7 championship, not being able to get it, and them running backstage. We had seen a promo earlier in the night. It was really weird with Eric Rowan kind of talking to like the camera, but like talking as if there was like a little animal in the camera, and then he came to the ring later with like a cage that was covered. Very weird. I don't know, but I just liked Singh brothers were running away from R-Truth, and it was the camera work, honestly, that did it for me. They ran into this room that was pitch black, and the cameraman, like, they kind of let the cameraman in with them and then shut the door, and they kind of acknowledged that the cameraman was with them, but it was pitch black. Like, legit, the way my TV looks right now, black on the screen. You couldn't see nothing. You could just hear them, oh, where's the light? Where's the light? Where? And then they turned the light on, and Rowan was in the room. And Rowan just beat the shit out of them. And then R-Truth came in later, and, he was like, oh, you guys gotta... figure it out. Be nicer. I can't remember what he said, but he shut the lights off and then shut the door and left. I just liked, honestly, it was the camera work for me. It was them acknowledging that the camera was there. Yeah. Because ever since Tony Khan said it in the Wade Keller interview that we are not going to have, we being an AEW, are not going to have invisible cameras. Yeah. That stuck with me because that's a really good line. Mm-hmm. Not a line, but a statement and a plan to have, because realistic, I don't like the... 3 dudes in the locker room and there's just a camera there.
Or one in the backseat of the car.
Oh, that's ridiculous. But, it should feel more like, I never watched it, but I always hear people refer to TNA at a certain time when there was a rolling cameraman, I guess, and there was kind of just a cameraman backstage who was supposed to just capture footage. Yeah. And I never watched this, but I heard that it was kind of him just going around, looking around corners and trying to... I don't know. Seems interesting. Seems different, but I enjoyed that aspect of Raw. I just wanted to say they kept it off the radar for me, at least. I don't know how, but I didn't realize that this show was in the UK until I turned it on, and then the UK stuff was on either side of the screen. I was like, oh, shit. Because I keep forgetting now that it's not Raw SmackDown. It's SmackDown Raw.
Yes.
So if they go to the UK, they're there on Friday and then Monday, not Monday and Friday, which makes sense. You're not going to hang around in the same place all week. But I didn't know that was coming, so that was cool at the beginning, and I didn't have any spoilers like I did for SmackDown with Kofi and the New Day, which we didn't talk about anything. I actually had SmackDown notes that I totally forgot to pull out. Yeah. I'm realizing that right now.
Fuck that, though.
Yeah, we don't need to.
No,
I
but
just
fuck that shit.
What?
That them getting the belts.
Oh, fuck.
Right?
Tell me about it, bro. It pisses me off because I don't want to get on a topic of that, but the Revival should be fucking fighting at Survivor Series with Undisputed Era and the War Raiders, because that match would be incredible.
Yeah.
Why do we have to put the New Day in just because they're the New Day?
Yeah.
It upsets me that they got those belts just so they could be at Survivor Series. And it upsets me that Revival is now not getting a chance to wrestle at, one of the bigger pay-per-views of the year because they wanted to just put the belts on New Day. But I don't want to get hung up on that unless you have a lot to say. We can talk about it. No. I don't know, maybe post Survivor Series. What was I going to say? Oh, just because I haven't talked about it, man, and I love it so much. But fuck, the pyro being back.
Oh, it's great.
Is so amazing.
It's great.
And like, I don't know. I feel like we've maybe talked about this before. Would you rather have it at the beginning of the show or in people's entrances? Like, if it's got to be one or the other.
No,
and I know
I would.
It's gonna right now.
The entrances.
Really?
Yes.
See, that's where we're different.
Yeah.
If I could choose between no wrestlers having pyro and me still getting
but not everybody,
15 to 20 seconds of that pyro at the beginning of the show, I think I would choose that, because my excitement level, I can't even explain to you how much more excited for the show I get when I see that than I did 3 months ago or 2 months ago when there was, hey, welcome to Monday Night Raw. And it's just Michael Cole's voice, who I like, but
they do the pyro at the beginning now.
Oh my! They go ham, just like the old pay-per-views, bro. They go crazy, like they turn the camera. Welcome to Raw. Blah, blah, blah.
Not every man and woman gets it.
No. I'm just, and that's a random question. Yeah. They would never choose wrestlers or intro. I was just more curious what you enjoy.
Certain people it really helps. Like, even as much as I'm not
Brock
big
Lesnar.
on Seth, like I'm not big on Seth, but Seth having that little it's
fire.
Good. It's good.
Totally, yeah. And it makes sense.
Brock's
AJ,
is like, there's certain people that just.
AJ's the maybe.
You know what I mean?
AJ might be the one, because I think it was Mike D. Shout out to him. When he told me that pyro was in his music, that is the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life. So I don't even know if he got it back because they have the new music. I haven't heard AJ's They Don't Want None in a while.
He rocked it one time and I was upset. It was Crown Jewel. That's where it was. I heard
his music, or the pyro?
Because I think that with this character and like how he's going, like he should just rock the OC shit all the time,
and only have that music. Yeah, that works
for now.
And I really didn't like their old entrance music.
I love this one.
No, I love this one, but I hated the other one.
Yeah.
The fucking
it was very.
What is their name?
What, the OC?
Gallows and Anderson, I guess,
Gallows
is what
and
they were called before.
Yeah.
Jeez. I didn't like their old one, so I don't know. But yeah, that was good. I don't want to talk about it, but Drew McIntyre was on the show, ... is kind of what I wrote.
Why that?
It's just like, what are we doing with this guy?
Well, he's on Team Raw.
Yeah, the one heel.
Randy.
Well, Randy hit babyface turn, buddy, on Monday.
He didn't turn.
Oh,
that wasn't a turn. What do you mean?
I was pretty close to a turn. If it wasn't a turn, it was...
What, with the end of Raw?
Just everything. The whole Raw, joining that team.
No.
Him being on the team, him not RKOing Ricochet, and kind of showing him
but
like,
he said,
hey,
look.
I could have. He turned him around, and he faked him out.
No, I didn't look, because, he didn't want to be tagged the entire match. Did you not book that? Because he didn't reach out until that moment that he said, hey, here, you guys, let me in. I'm going to
I didn't pick up on that, but I didn't take it as a hard babyface turn, but I definitely took it as like this could be Randy doing something different now that he's on Raw, which I don't mind. I kind of, we had a good little...
He'll fuck him in that match.
You think so?
I don't think he's...
I hope not. I kind of want babyface Randy right now.
No,
I do.
No, heel Randy is Randy.
Oh, he is, but we've seen it. When was the last time he was babyface?
I don't want to see
I feel like it was ripping Jeff Hardy's nose ring out.
Probably.
Shit. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Ripping
Maybe
that
there
stuff.
might have been.
I can't remember, but I feel like it was prior to that we had baby. I know he doesn't cut good babyface promos. It's just I don't see a lot of Randy on Raw since I've been back in wrestling. So the fact that he's on Raw, my favorite show, and he may be a babyface, and I can actually cheer for him is like enticing to me.
Oh man.
So
You don't want that. You don't want that.
I didn't. If you would have asked me a week ago, I would have said no, I don't want that. But now, after seeing him on Raw, I'm like, I can maybe get behind this. Like, him,
But he would. I don't know.
maybe
We looked at it way different.
Maybe I
eh?
just bought in and you didn't. Maybe I just was like, oh yeah, well look at him, he's turning good.
You're
Holy
crazy.
shit! And you're like, what the fuck is this?
No,
I don't know.
I liked it because to me he was faking out both. Like he was like you knowing Randy Orton, it's like, yo, I'm gonna fucking hit this guy and this guy. And AJ's like, dazed up.
I just really enjoy.
And he was showing Ricochet, this could be you
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Anytime. Didn't he voice? He said some shit.
He said
I
shit
do what I want.
when I want. Yeah, and he said some stuff like earlier in the night when they were backstage, like, don't let me get in your head. Like, you don't want me in your head. Kind of
Yeah,
thing.
see, he's fucking with them.
Like-
He's just playing that mind game shit.
Either way, I don't care. Like, I like it. Okay?
No, it's good.
Whether
shit.
it's no, but I like it and I'm gonna cheer for it. I don't know. It's
Yeah, because Randy. You
yeah,
like Randy. Yeah.
Like, I'm enjoying this. That was literally the last thing I wrote for Monday Night Raw was 6-man tag to end the
this
show.
is what we were talking about at the ending. Because I said to you, I was like, I wasn't really feeling the ending. It felt underwhelming to me.
Okay,
But you liked it.
well, what felt underwhelming to me was yippee doo, another 6-man tag to end Monday Night Raw.
Well, that too. Yeah.
That
didn't help
like
either.
I hate that because then it's all night from. Can I watch all 3 hours? All night. It's later tonight. The 6-man. It's like that's the match that I don't care about. Like let's give us a singles match in the main event that I can actually get behind
Yeah.
instead of this just generic 6-man SmackDown versus Raw 2007. We're trying to make a fucking quick match card here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't enjoy that. But as far as the ending, I mean, we've kind of already talked about it. I loved the whole taunting to Ricochet, him doing the RKO to AJ and, thinking he was going to do it to Ricochet and then not doing it to Ricochet. I just like, as far as like little stories go
Yeah.
and like little story arcs, this Raw and the AJ Styles, Randy Orton and Ricochet, I guess AJ mixed in as well, but the Randy Orton Ricochet stuff, I enjoyed the seeds that were planted for that feud on this episode of Raw.
For sure.
And that's kind of what I meant in the ending.
Hmm.
It had some meaning. Like when that happened, it was like, oh, I wonder what they're going to do next.
Yeah.
It actually gave me that feeling. It wasn't just generic ending to Raw.
Yeah.
I almost said Roman raising his hands, but I can't rag on him. It's been a while since we've had a Raw close with Roman's fists in the air.
He'll be
Don't say
leading
it.
the blue. leading the blue team. I was gonna say.
I seen a stat today. He lost to
charge.
Baron Corbin last week on SmackDown. That was his first ever singles match loss on SmackDown
Wow.
that he's ever lost. I mean, he hasn't wrestled a shit ton on SmackDown, but either way, that's still a significant stat.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy though. Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. Did you want to get into anything else from the pro wrestling side of the world?
No. I had one more maybe question about kind of leading into Survivor Series now. What happens with the Fiend now? Is he going to be is he going to be having a separate match? And do you not find that
The weirdest thing to me is the belt. The fact that Brock quit SmackDown and he brought the WWE Championship back to Raw, and the fact that we've got a red Universal Championship now.
I'm sure that'll change, probably.
But what do you mean? Like how? That's like
he'll change. I keep hearing that he's gonna change the belt or some shit. Or I see pictures.
Well, I guess. I mean,
he should. Like, I don't want to see a red belt on. I don't want to see a blue belt either, mind you. But
oh no, definitely not. But I don't know. I don't even necessarily know right this second if he's having a match. It's like he should be, of course. I would imagine
maybe him
he is.
and DB.
But
right.
I guess with him attacking Daniel Bryan at the end of or the middle of SmackDown, that was last week. I don't know. I think, like I said, my biggest thing right now is what's going on with the belts. What belt is on which show?
We know. No, we know.
Do we?
Yeah, Brock. He's on Brock's.
But
they don't You're right. They don't clarify the shit.
Yeah, I was gonna. We don't know. No, like they never said Raw like the WWE Championship is now the top title on Raw, and the Universal Championship is now the top title on SmackDown due to Brock quitting SmackDown and Bray Wyatt winning the Universal Championship and already being a member of the SmackDown roster.
Yeah, we're just supposed to know. I guess
that's it. We just know.
On Brock though, I am excited. I like this whole thing with him and Ray. I'm enjoying it. I like it. It's a longer build.
It sucks
it's been
because
a longer build, you know.
Yeah, I mean with the Cain Velasquez stuff and everything. I mean it sucks because me and you talked about we know that this is just something for Brock to do, so he doesn't have to get involved with the other champions. But either way, it's good to see, and it's good for Ray still getting WWE Championship matches this in 2019. Who would have said that in 2006?
Yeah,
you know what I mean, when he's winning Royal Rumbles and WWE Championships. The one thing, it's perfect almost segue, and the one thing I want to say before we move on to the F1 update is just it's the 14-year anniversary the day we're recording this of the passing of Eddie Guerrero.
Yes,
so,
I was reading that today actually. Yeah.
You know, rest in peace Eddie Guerrero. I remember that day finding out about it literally like it was, maybe not like it was yesterday, but I remember it well enough. And one of the greatest to ever do it in the ring, and one of the best ever that was ever in the ring. So
yeah, definitely.
I figure with us recording the day that he passed away 14 years ago, why not give him a good shout out? But yeah, you're the man, Eddie. I wish I had some music for you. That's gonna be my new saying. I wish I had some music. I wish I had a clip.
Make that a shirt.
Next time I'll have a clip. That's coming. But yeah, this is. I guess we might as well move forward. Okay. A little short one this week. We've been kind of going back and forth. I said I was going to have Phil and Will on next week, and I'm going to have the both of them on to close out the rest of the Formula One season. They'll be with me for, I guess, post-race of the next two races. So I hope everybody enjoyed the super extended F1 update that we did last week with myself, Will, and Phil. And I did it again. I think I called Phil, Will, Phil, and I think
man. He's the thrill.
No, but he's not. You got to go back and listen to the episode. You missed it. I'll show you later. He changed it. He did a complete heel turn on me last week in the intro. So now the listeners know that Don doesn't listen to the shows, but that's already been stated before. It's fine. But yeah, this is the F1 update. A little update I do more or less every week on the roundtable. Just want to give you kind of some highlights preview for the Brazilian Grand Prix this weekend for Formula One. I said I would do it going forward with the points update. I guess I should let Donovan know. It's been a while.
Yes.
Lewis is officially the champion, buddy. The champion of 2019.
I think I would know that only from your
Instagram
yes.
probably. Yeah. But yeah, so Lewis won the championship last week. He clinched it, and Mercedes clinched the championship a few weeks back. So they're 6-time double world champions, if I could speak. Jeez. So yeah, I just wanted to
greatness. We're part of a good generation, you know what I mean?
First time it's ever been done. I mean, you had Schumacher in the early 2000s win 7 championships, so you got Lewis next year trying to tie that greatest record of all time. Is one of those records that, you know, like a Wayne Gretzky goals or assists for total points, one of those ones you never thought were going to be matched or even, you know, approached.
Yeah.
But anyway, I said I would give a points update for the rest. I'm just going to give you Lewis's. It's not really going to matter at this point, but 381 points. He won the championship. Bottas with 314, Leclerc with 249, and Max Verstappen with 235. So we could see a jump from Max over Leclerc into third place, depending on how these final 2 races do go. But yeah, so Lewis and Bottas will be hungry for wins this weekend. One being Lewis didn't get the win last weekend. He came second, and he really wanted to obviously win the race that he clinched the title.
Yeah.
And Bottas, I mean, he's just had a fantastic second half of the year, or second third of the year. He won last week, and he's going to want to try and have another back-to-back win and then maybe lead himself into Abu Dhabi to win again. So they'll be looking for that. More, I guess, Mercedes news. No Toto Wolff, who I don't know if I've ever brought up that name to you before. He's the team principal, so like the coach, I guess you could say, for all better things said. For all better, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
More or less, he's the coach. Toto Wolff won't be there this weekend. This is the first weekend that he will not be at a Grand Prix since 2013. So that's,
fuck.
Yeah, it's been a while. And they've clinched titles before the end of the season before, so I don't know if there's something family going on or if he just, they've wrapped up both titles, 6 titles in a row, and he deserves some time off before the end of the year. I don't know. But that's crazy because that means that he has not missed a race of the formula, like the hybrid engine era that started in 2014 with the new engines and Mercedes kind of their dominance since 2014. So,
yeah.
Sorry to get a little water break, Jones there, bringing it back.
That's it.
But yeah, so I'll get into the stats for Brazil. I don't want to go too long. Like I said, next week we're going to have another extended F1 update. Me and Will probably shoot the shit about some wrestling stuff at the beginning, and then we'll go long in the second half talking about what happened in this race here. But this one kind of relates to your UFC stuff. It's in Brazil. It's a big hotbed for UFC, but it's in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I don't know specifically where that is in relation to Rio, the capital, obviously, that is. The venue holds 60,000 people, which is, in my opinion, pretty low for F1. Normally, they'll hold like 150 to 100,000, depending on the track, obviously. It was opened in 1940. There's 4 different versions of the track that have been used over time.
Nothing.
I know. I know you were looking up the thing there for me, or maybe not.
Something else, but
Something
I'll
else.
continue with
Okay,
it.
yeah, sorry.
It relates.
Okay, cool. 4 versions of the track that they've used, different versions. They used the first one in 1972 to 77, and then from 79 to 80 they used another one, and then from 1990 to present. Sorry, it was 72 and 77, not from 72 to 77. Jeez. Or no, it was from 72 to 77, and then it was 79 and 80, as well as 90 all the way till now. So that, don't quote me on that. I don't know how many of you would anyway, but that's a long time to be going to the same track and not switch. So they've done a Formula One race at this specific track every year since 1990. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Crazy amount of evolution. Jesus, WWE's sticking with me. And it's the end of the show. We've had a long night. Lots of elevation change at this track. It's a historic one. It's anti-clockwise, meaning it's kind of a left-hand turn at the beginning, and they're going in an anti-clockwise motion rather than a clockwise. I think there's only 5 tracks on the year that do that. Let me see if I can name them. Singapore, Baku, Suzuka, this one, and I can't remember the other one, and I'm not going to put myself on the spot. But I got 4 of them,
there you go.
So not bad. The lap, geez, I can't speak tonight, Don. The lap record is 1:10.540 from Bottas in 2018 in the Mercedes. It's 4.3 kilometers. There's 15 turns. And this is the home race for, I don't know if you know the name, but the legend of the sport, I would say more or less, if not Schumacher, the most recognizable name in Formula One, Ayrton Senna, who's kind of, like I said, if Schumacher is Wayne Gretzky, then Senna is Bobby Orr.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of a good representation, I guess, to put it into hockey terms for any of the Canadian listeners. But yeah, like I said, anti-clockwise circuit. And then I quickly just wanted to name off some of the drivers on the current grid who are racing in this race this year who have won here before. Sebastian Vettel won the 2010, the 2013, and the 2017 race here. Kimi Räikkönen won the 2007 race, as well as he clinched the 2007 title in that same race. It was a crazy one if anybody wants to go and find that and watch it as a wicked race. Lewis won in 2016 and 2018, as well as similar to Räikkönen, he won the title in 2008 by finishing 5th. He had to finish in 5th, and he passed a guy to get into 5th place on the last turn, which then clinched him the championship. Anybody who knows a lot about Formula One, is that Glock? Yes, it is. And then I just wanted to this one's just a little random stat. The outright lap record, because the difference between a lap record and an outright lap record is the overall lap record is taken in the race. So it's the fastest lap that's done within the 70 or 50 laps that are going on at that time. The outright lap record is qualifying or basically not in a race, so 1 lap.
Okay.
Like the quickest the car can possibly go around the track. So 1:07 is the outright lap time, so almost 3 seconds quicker than they are in the race, which is significant. But I just wanted to say LMP1 cars, which are very similar. If you're interested, go look it up. Type in LMP1, it'll pop up. It's like a supercar. I'll show you after, Donovan.
Yeah.
Super insanely fast, high performance, high technology cars. 10 seconds slower around a lap.
Jeez.
than the Formula One
Which is
car.
a huge difference.
Massive difference, especially in racing.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to kind of set the standard for anybody who's not too familiar with that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It should be a good race. Like I said, I'd like to see Lewis win. But at the same time, shout out to my mom. I say it every time. I'd like to see Bottas win because I want to see him go forward and win out the rest of the season and then ride that into 2020 and see if he can maybe take a championship away from Lewis, because that would be, I mean, not that I don't want to see Lewis win a championship, but it would be a significant thing to have a guy like Bottas come in and steal a championship away from Lewis.
And this takes place in
Sao Paulo, Brazil.
which, yeah, you brought that up to me. There is also a UFC this Saturday in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
No way.
It's a
Okay.
big weekend in Brazil.
Why don't you give us a little preview of the top two? It's perfect. We'll mix it
yeah.
into the F1 update here since it's all happening in the same city.
So in the co-main event, we got someone you know very well, Shogun.
Okay,
who's gonna be
Shogun. This
fighting.
guy still
He's
fights?
yeah, I know. I said that to Shogun the other day. I didn't. Yeah, he's still-
Dude, okay. Him and Chuck Liddell were the two characters that you were allowed to use in the demo for the first ever UFC video game.
There you go.
That's how I found out who he was back then. But I just mean, that's a long time ago. That's when I was in high school and we came home on my lunch break and we all played the demo, and if you lost, you passed the controller. So that just kind of shows you how long this guy has been around. But anyway.
So that is I believe it's a light heavyweight bout. Yeah, it's a light heavyweight bout, so 205 division. And the man he's fighting, the last name is Craig. I can't pronounce his first name, and I don't
Daniel?
know him too well. I'm not even going to pretend to.
I'm
not even going to try.
I'm just playing a joke. Is it 007? That's kind of what I was getting at.
The main event's a pretty big deal, though. We got Blachowicz, who recently knocked out Luke Rockhold, which I talked about on a previous roundtable.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was a big one.
I think that might have been the Dawn Hour the one time.
That probably-
we do it. We got to bring it.
that
The
could have
listeners, I've been getting messages. Where's the Dawn Hour?
I know, and I missed the BMF, which I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I will make up. There's a big card in December, so we'll get figure it
another
out.
one.
We'll figure it out. And he is taking on Jacare, this is a big match for both guys. Jacare's first match in the 205 division. He's known at the 185. So I don't know, man. Lately, Rockhold knocked out. He made the jump up 185, 205. Chris Weidman jumped up 185, 205, knocked out. Hasn't been going good for the guys jumping from 185 to 205, fighting the naturally bigger guys.
And it hasn't been working out very well for them?
Not thus far. But you know what? I got hope for Jacare, man.
I feel like they've just probably got their sights set on like a purple and silver belt. No? Sorry.
Nah, but what they do got their
I'm just
sights,
205. I can't, man. I'm sorry.
These guys would beast some of them.
Some of the 205 guys?
I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's
We'd
hard
have
to say. Some
we'd
of
have
them
to
look
see.
bigger. Like I said, Buddy Murphy's a pretty big dude.
TV does wonders.
That it does.
Right. I'll wrap this up.
Yeah. No
They got their
worries.
sights set on John Jones. Every time they talk about these 185 guys, big names jumping up, they're always, the interviews will ask them, oh, what about a potential super fight with John? What about John? And they're like, yeah. Fuck that. Focus on what you got to do right now, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like these guys have lost sight. Jacare, I
You
haven't
mean
heard
the
anything.
fighters themselves?
Yeah.
Or the people asking them?
Both. And
Okay.
the fighters for playing in that hand, like I would shut up and no, I don't even want to talk about that. I'm focused on this. This is
Yeah.
what I'm doing. Dangerous fight, man, for Jacare, though. This Blachowicz guy has the fucking bomb in that hand, which we seen on Luke.
Should be good. Fast cars and fights going down in Sao
Bra-
Paulo,
yeah,
Brazil
man.
this weekend.
There you
Fuck,
go.
that's pretty cool,
It
man.
is, right? Yeah.
We should, what are you saying on the weekend? We should maybe try and set that up because I'm going to be watching the qualifying and then
This is on Saturday, which sucks because I have something I
got to be somewhere Sunday morning pretty early too up in Markham area, so I can't stay up too late anyway. But yeah, maybe, I don't know. It's cool.
I know.
Shout out to that. I
Would've been a
mean,
good one.
I'm happy that you found that info because that's sweet to bring up on the F1 update. But thanks for checking out this one. And like I said, we'll be back next week with an extended F1 update.
Yes, sir.
I like that yes sir. That filled the gap.
It might be a new thing I'm doing.
I kind of like it. But we thank everybody for checking out the show. This has been the Roundtable, episode 61. If you don't already, go check us out on Instagram and Twitter at PW LookBack. Give us a follow, like, subscribe, share, comment, DM, PM, Send questions to the email, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. And I keep forget to say it at the beginning of the shows. It's been like 3 weeks. Go check out teespring.com/prowrestlinglookback. I got to re-add it into my notes so I stop forgetting.
Get yourself a hoodie.
Get a hoodie. I put it on the Instagram page. There's all kinds of shirts. There's mugs, all kinds of good stuff. If you want to send us an email, like I said, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. Subscribe, hit the 5 stars, leave a good comment on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube, and Google Play. I'm on Twitter at Salsa, SCELSA.
My Twitter is at JustDon44.
Don't forget to check out the sponsor, Pure Oxide, premium CBD oils at Pure Oxide CBD, pureoxide.com. They ship worldwide. No GMOs, no THC, lab tested, multiple different bottles, 2,500 milligram, 5,000 milligram, 3,000 milligram. Instagram at Justin.Brothers to get in contact with the owner. They do contests regularly. Joint pain, I say it every week, guys. Check them out. Hundreds of positive reviews at Pure Oxide CBD, pureoxide.com. They ship worldwide. And thank you for checking out the Roundtable. Like I said, this is episode 62. I'm Nick.
And I'm Donovan, telling you to stay classy.